We're live. Pokemon. Gotta catch 'em all. Pokemon. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. I'm a real boy. Oh, you know it's a night stream.
Oh.
Mmm. Mmm.
We gotta.
It's been a while. Where's the headphone splitter?
The headphones though?
Yes, because it'll revert back to the mic.
Ow.
It also means you have to move.
You bastard.
Oh, I don't know if anyone's watching yet, but yeah, people pop in slowly. It usually takes like a good 5 minutes before people really realize we're live streaming.
Yep.
All right, I got that plugged in. Where's the actual headphones here? Headphones here. Oh man, the most unprepared live stream of all time.
I nearly dropped that.
No, there's been a lot worse. We do have some people watch. We got Dragon Wolf up in here, Ryan, Lisa, Zenith, Frisk, M the Moon. We do have our first question in, by the way.
Jeez.
Eric is here, by the way. I'm trying to convince him to come over here.
I'm just deleting emails.
You're on your phone. You can do that anywhere.
Shut up.
Deleting emails as we wait for his MacBook Mini to update to see if we can run Final Cut Pro. But the fact that it keeps saying, 44 minutes, a half hour ago to update, 41 minutes, I'm a little concerned. Of course, we don't really know the full specs of the system either, so. Anyways, because he's thinking about bringing it to E3 to help edit. But before we do anything else, I guess I'm just going to listen to the song without him.
Yeah.
That's one way to convince him to come over is the amazing song that we're about to play for all of you guys. For those who are new to our streams, you might not realize the Horsecock song as one of the themes for our night stream. Technically, prime time only happens on Mondays. However, I am counting our Wednesday streams because this is the last, not the last. We have two more. We have this stream and the next two Wednesdays are the last nighttime Wednesday streams we have, period. Because after that, our Wednesday streams are going to be during the day and will no longer be prime time. So, to celebrate that occasion, we only can do this for 3 more Wednesdays, counting tonight.
Get my fat ass
We got you're come on, man. Let's do it, bro.
Yeah.
Let's do it, bro.
God damn.
Come on. Come on.
Bro.
It's
No.
well, you just brought up an everyday bro reference.
No, I didn't.
I heard you just
No, I
say it's
didn't.
everyday,
I didn't
bro.
do anything.
I just heard you.
I would
You
not
just
say
Jake Paul name
Nope.
drop on music.
anything. No, I did not.
I think we need to listen to Horsecock now like 20
Yes, we
times.
do. Yes, we do.
All right, here we go. Maybe. There it is. Oh, it's good.
Headset. I only get no one here.
My neighbors ask
there it
me
is.
why I'm limping down
The
the way,
way
and who that fellow was.
who came by yesterday.
I quickly turned my face
Before I start to blush,
because
frankly there is nothing I can say.
down, down, down.
I've always had a thing for pulling the extremes.
And I just got a thing.
You won't find in the magazines.
This moon and silver
Got me banging, please. Give me more of what I really need. 'Cause there is no cock like Horsecock. Send your asshole into shock. You need Horsecock, of course, cock. Grab the lube and slam the day away. My shaft is quivering and my balls are turning blue.
yes. I think of drinking
A foot or even two. Whoa.
my favorite stallion that I
Keep in my top drawer. Slip it in and I'll be dripping goo. As I take more cock, Horsecock. Shut the door and turn the lock. Is your cock a Horsecock? You will never hear me saying nay.
'cause there
There's no cock like horse cock. Rub my dick inside a sock. Don't stop now, horse cock. Stretch out my insides and make me brave. Horse cock, horse cock. Shit, down, down, down. Horse cock, horse cock. Yeah, da 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 da. Bow, 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 bow. Yeah, da 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 da. Yeah, da 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 da. All right, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed that. This is one of our last 3 Wednesdays that you are going to hear it. Now that you heard this song, there's only 2 more Wednesdays to go to hear it at the lead of our Wednesday stream, and that is it. Because once we move to daytime on Wednesdays, we do not play inappropriate music. We do not swear, any of that stuff. We try to keep it family friendly for our day streams. So, yes, folks, enjoy that because Wednesday nights, you got 2 more of them, and then that's it. No more horsecock on Wednesdays. Now, that being said, Eric tapping the soda for percussion might have killed me.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So the first question we actually had came from Frisk.
Yes.
Which, by the way, holy shit, Mark Greenberg. I
Wait.
just realized Mark Greenberg, by the way, a long time follower, long time subscriber.
Yeah.
He just subbed to us yesterday, which means that YouTube kicked him off our channel.
Nice.
They unsubbed him. Thanks, YouTube. One of our most loyal subscribers. You just randomly unsubbed him. Awesome. I'm glad Mark Greenberg noticed and got back on the sub train. I knew that there was a new recent purge because we had a huge dip one day, and I'm like, you know what? I think there was another purging of accounts. Anyways, Frisk did ask, how excited are you for E3?
I don't know if there's words. Honestly, can't wait to get out of. Granted, the state's finally starting to warm up.
Yeah, it's been the 80s today.
yeah, right. But just to get out and actually go be around a bunch of nerds again.
Yeah,
And actually,
that is nice.
My own
Being around-
kind.
being around a bunch of people that you kind of relate to a little
Yeah.
bit, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and I'm excited just in general. I mean,
Yeah.
now that things are getting squared away,
Right.
you
It's
know,
starting to
like
seem more real.
even the little things are getting squared away. Like, I got the laptop coming tomorrow, so we know for sure we got at least one thing to edit on, potentially 2. We're gonna do some testing on that. So we might have two ways so we could edit twice the amount of videos and hopefully get them out to you guys twice as fast. You got your new phone with the camera, so now we can have, at least 2 decent shots going on, so we can get twice the amount of footage. Actually, it's gonna be like 18,000 times the amount of footage we got last time, but
Right.
even like twice that.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And then on top of all of that, like I just squared away our parking for when we go to the airport. So now, like, we just paid that down. Everything is basically paid for now, which I think is one of the most exciting aspects for me because it means the number I see in my bank account is the money I have available to spend when I'm there. Which is
Sans any surprise.
That's the
fees.
thing. That's the thing. I already know some of that money, like baggage fees
Right.
and stuff like that. Like
But
I'm
that's not
already,
a surprise
I'm
fee.
already writing
That's
off
not
like
a
two.
surprise
I'm already
fee.
writing off like $200 in baggage fees or some random shit. Just some random taxes
Yeah.
or like hotel wanting me to charge like an extra fee per day that they give you back at the end when they realize you didn't destroy your fucking hotel room.
Yeah, right.
But I'm pumped because one, I'm always excited for E3.
Oh yeah.
I cover it every single year. I have covered E3 every single year now, dating back to when Gamnesia was founded 4 years ago. 5 years. Holy shit, 5 years ago. So for 5 straight years, I've done full-time coverage of E3. 2 of those years, or 1 of those years I went to E3. This year, I'm going to E3. And the year I went to E3 ended up being the easiest E3 to cover because it was just Zelda. I mean, there was other things going on at Treehouse, but for the most part, what you got out of the E3 was Zelda, Zelda, and more Zelda. And then it was Wii U, by the way. We're done with it. Let's see you in October when we announce Switch. So, yeah, and what's cool here is last year I covered E3 as Nintendo Prime as a website, and it was insane. It was nice. It was cool. But we didn't really do a lot of YouTube content for it. So this is actually the first year we're trying to do both. I'm trying to get Darren from the Nintendo Prime podcast to handle our written coverage, and then Eric and I getting the video coverage there, and
Partial writing, possibly more.
we'll do writing on the day because
Yeah.
we can't get until 2 anyways.
Yeah.
But I'm like so pumped about it because for the first year we might finally have the type of coverage for E3 I've always wanted to do. I've always, because there's advantages to different ways of covering E3. If you just stay home, you have the advantage of watching every single live stream there is. And because of that, you get to see all of the interviews. You get to see exclusive gameplay being shown like on the Treehouse live stream that isn't at or on the show floor. You get all this extra news tidbits. And when you're at home and you're covering that as a YouTube channel, and even though I've never done that fully as a YouTube channel, and as a written website, you have like hundreds and hundreds of articles to make. But then, you're not getting the hands-on experience, right? So you're not getting the hands-on coverage. You're not getting the first-hand experiences, the first-hand impressions, the in-person podcasts, the vlogging, the experience of the whole of E3. So this year, for the first time ever, I'm trying to do what I've never done before. Cover E3 in its entirety in all possible avenues I can think of.
Mhm.
That is fully on the site, all the news covered. That's why I'm hoping Darren will help, because Darren's got experience. He's worked under me before at other ventures, so he knows what's up. So he knows what's expected. So and I'm going to be helping him out, like when we get back. Like when I'm waiting for a video to render, I'm going to be going off and
Right.
and updating and putting out news posts
Maybe I'll see if Chris is available to help.
with the news
as well.
posts.
Yeah. with
Because
the
there's a
news
lot.
posts.
There's
Yeah.
going to be a lot. There's
Oh, no,
hundreds
for
and
sure.
hundreds and hundreds of
For
posts.
sure. And it'll be something that he's a decent. I mean, he
Yeah.
reads a ton. He's a decent writer, so.
And I want to have video coverage. The one thing that's going to be slightly lacking is that you might not get like videos of the news, if that makes any sense. So like I make a news video or a Prime News. I do want to do a recap of each day, a news recap video. Whether or not I can fit that in with all the other videos we have to make, I'm not sure. But if we can, then I am going to hit what I want to happen. News recap video for everyone on YouTube, all 3 days of E3, the big 3 days. Maybe even on Monday. Maybe even we'll have a Monday recap if there's a bunch of third-party announcements for Switch. So we probably should have a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday news recap video, plus all the gameplay clips, plus all the impressions. You guys know we're going to be doing reaction videos. It's going to happen. We're going to be reacting to the digital event. We're going to be reacting to the specific games. Like, we'll have a podcast. You silly guy, you. We'll have a podcast doing all that
reacting.
stuff. But we're also going to be like, okay, we both played Smash. Everyone wants to know our thoughts on it. Let's go. What did we do? What do we think? Where we think, blah, blah, blah. Like individual game reactions and discussions.
Right.
And doing all of this and showing you the games. Doing all of this at the same time in the same week. Never done that before in my life. Brand new experience. I am so pumped to do it. It's a hell of a lot of work. I'm going to be busy as hell. He's trying to help me out as much as he can. I'm hoping that I can get Darren on board. And if I can get Darren, hoping to nab a couple other people I also trust to maybe help with the news coverage and the whole program. I can focus on the video content while I know the written content's being taken care of. That's great, because then I can just focus on advertising the written content instead of writing it myself.
Right.
And I can just worry about videos. But yeah, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be fun. I can't wait. I'm pumped. I'm excited. This is the most hyped E3, I think, for me ever. Not just because I'm going, and I'm going to one that's not just Zelda, and because I'm going as Nintendo Pro. I'm going like as myself. It's crazy to think I'm going to this event for me, and for you guys, of course.
Obviously.
So there's that, and then the excitement of what this E3 means. I think this is the most important E3 for Nintendo, maybe since the E3 before Wii launched, potentially, because things have I think we can all agree, things have kind of tuckered down for Nintendo. So now, while Switch is still this hot thing, what's next? And this is the what's next E3. So, we're talking Smash. We're talking Pokemon, potentially. We're talking Metroid Prime. We're talking maybe Animal Crossing. We're talking Star Fox, potentially, with all the rumors out there. We're talking about, this is one of the biggest and most important E3s Nintendo has had in a long, long, long time. Especially since they handled all of the Switch launch stuff outside of the E3 cycle. So, I can't wait to see what happens. And I'm going to take these off, too.
Yeah.
And unplug this, actually. So yeah, it's. Are we excited? Like,
I think excited is an understatement. I mean,
I-
really.
I don't know. I hope my excitement's coming through. Like, I'm scared of the work, but I'm excited by it at the same time. I love doing this stuff. Like, here's my thing. My let me give you my ideal situation here, right? My ideal situation for E3, sometime in my life. Maybe it's when I'm 40. Maybe it's when I'm 50. Maybe it's when I'm
you're
60 or 80 or whatever. That Nintendo Prime is so big that I have other staff members, right? Other paid staff members. And these paid staff members are handling the news posts. They're handling the E3 coverage. And I can go to E3 one year and just enjoy it. Worry less about capturing all the footage, doing all this, meeting people, spreading out business cards, blah, blah, blah. And just focus on, let me just go to E3 and enjoy the event. I want that to happen sometime. That's the one thing is I love the work. I really do. But there's just so much of it crammed into such a small space. But I'm excited by it because if we pull it off, it's going to be the biggest accomplishment, I think, in my professional career. If you consider this a professional career. And then how we follow it up is going to be huge. Because I'm hoping I can make connections that are enough to start getting some pre-release games and doing pre-release game coverage, which is the next step I want to take at my channel, is not just covering news of today. I want to start doing pre-release coverage of video games, not just post-release, not just impressions. I want to do pre-release coverage and create exclusive pre-release content. And at the C3, I potentially could meet the people I need to do that. I can make connections. So that's another big thing I'm taking all these E3s. Not just what affects us there, what can affect us in the future. And not just connections at Nintendo, because third parties, like 2K, how cool would it be to get a review copy of NBA 2K19 this year?
Right.
That would be awesome. Not just because I love
Couple.
NBA 2K, but I could do amazing coverage of it.
Get two.
Plus, we might be the only one doing pre-coverage that's playing the Bucks.
Yeah, right.
I mean, come on.
Well,
Although, we have a new coach. New coach.
Greek
Sorry
Freak.
today.
I mean, we do have the Greek Freak, so we can't be the only ones playing.
I don't know. Because how many people who get pre-release copies care about the Bucks?
I don't know. I'm sure there's a few.
Yeah, there's probably some.
We have the Greek Freak.
It's probably everyone I see is always playing Golden State. So I don't know.
No, well, right.
Now maybe they'll play the Rockets. I don't know.
Cavs.
Golden State. Is Golden State rocking the Rockets tonight? I don't even check the score.
I will tell you in a second.
All right. Let's scroll down here and see if there's any other questions pertaining to E3 or anything else. The chat
Well,
is
the Golden Knights are winning.
the chat is ablaze. Awkward entrance. So we do have a bunch of people. Oh, some people pinging here.
Yes.
Mark Greenberg is up in here.
Go Braves.
Did you hear what I said about you, Mark Greenberg? I noticed that you resubscribed yesterday. Did YouTube unsubscribe you? I'm just curious. YouTube has been like purging. Like my subscriber count now isn't going anywhere because YouTube's been doing these purging of accounts. Anyways, Mark Greenberg had a question. Nintendo Prime, honest opinion. Do you want Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu, or would you rather something else? Also, I've been unsigned for that past week and was wondering why the hell you weren't. Unsigned for the past week.
Unsubbed?
Unsubbed for the past week.
Is that what he means?
Yeah, I
don't
think
know.
he
It
means
could be-
unsubbed.
Okay.
Unsubbed. All right. I'm going to first go Eric, because Eric, I just told you about this stuff recently. I'm going to give you your thoughts before I get into mine.
Right. Do I want it? If the question is, do I want it there?
Do you want Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu? Do you want the games at all, or would you rather it be something else?
I'm curious to. I want to see game concepts first. Not a big fan of the names. I mean, I understand the concept of the names, but I'm not a big fan of them. But I'm gonna hold off my judgment until I actually see game concept and gameplay. I hope that's fair.
Well, so you're not excited.
I'm excited.
Well, what
but-
you're saying, because what I feel I'm hearing from you is that, what we know so far, the Pokemon Go stuff, blah blah blah, it doesn't really excite you. You're not writing it off,
Mhm.
but it's not
Right.
exciting you either.
Right. Well, it's yeah. If that's, I was hoping for like a brand new
Here we
like-
go.
like actual full Pokemon game. Like I don't know what I haven't done enough research into this.
Well, basically what I told you from the rumors
And
is that's it.
Honestly, I couldn't really hear a whole lot of what you were saying. You were cutting in and out. So.
I told you in person. Oh, I know. I told you on the phone today.
Yeah, it was on the
Okay,
phone
so
today.
let me recap this for you.
okay,
Okay,
yeah.
because there was an update to these rumors today. It was actually a video I was working on. Unfortunately, I didn't get out. Where why this is even relevant to talk about is that Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, the rumored Pokemon games, the URLs themselves for the websites were officially registered by the same registration group that Nintendo uses for all of their websites, including Nintendo.com, and they use that same registration place for Pokemon Sun and Moon. So this looks as legit as it possibly can look without the game actually being unveiled. So Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee definitely sounds like those are games that are coming, which makes the rumors and all the things surrounding those rumors, since we got names out of those rumors, names of the games nailed, that means the rest of the rumors surrounding it, attached to it,
They're
are probably
probably
true. Maybe not the stuff from 6 months ago. 6 months ago, they didn't have the names. But they did have the Eevee and the Pikachu thing. So maybe that stuff is true as well. We don't know, like the reboot of Pokemon Yellow or whatever it is. So here's the general gist of it. So the new Pokemon games, according to the rumors, they are connected to Pokemon Go in that you can connect the games and get bonuses in the games. There's a fresh rumor out now about how you potentially Pokemon Go is being added to Pokemon Bank, which is going to allow you to bring Pokemon from Go into the game. That's a new rumor that just hit today. I haven't even reported on it yet.
Interesting. Sure.
But it makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a Pokemon game that captures Pokemon. I know people say spin-off side series. You still capture Pokemon. If you could transfer them into a game, still, it doesn't really give you a competitive advantage, I don't feel.
This almost seems like what you said. This almost seems like a side series.
Well, hold on, let me finish.
Not a full.
So it is said to be a core RPG.
Okay.
So it is literally the next main Pokemon games. And this is also Actually, the funny thing is that's not even a rumor. That is what Nintendo told us when they announced it. That this is a core RPG. It's like this is a core game in the franchise. This is not considered a spin-off. Not considered a side thing. This is a mainline Pokemon game. So that's the only thing we've ever known this whole time, is that whatever game's coming to Switch next after Pokken Tournament was gonna be a mainline game. So these are mainline games. They're RPGs that you can connect them to Pokemon Go. That is optional to do, but again, you get the bonuses and you can transfer Pokemon. Potentially transfer Pokemon. Separate rumor. You can. A lot of things in the game are kind of inspired or growing or potentially something to do with looking at Pokemon Go and thinking, how can they do things differently? We don't know what that means. We don't know if we don't know anything about what that means. We honestly don't know. Some people are panicking about the capture system or the the battle system. I don't think any of that is necessarily being taken from Go and being directly put in the game.
Right.
But there's something that happened in Go is inspiring what they're doing in this game. Hence the names Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. Obviously, as you can't tell by the titles of the games, you don't, instead of being the traditional choosing one of 3 starters, you either start with Pikachu, or you start with an Eevee, and Let's Go Eevee. And a lot of people are saying, well, you'd obviously go with Eevee because you could have, 8 different evolutions off of Eevee. And apparently there's another rumor out there that they're adding an additional evolution for each one. So after Raichu, I think it's Gorachu or whatever. It's actually a design that's existed for Pikachu before, but never actually became part of the game. So it is something that they've done, that they've thought about. And then they would add a normal type evolution for Eevee, which currently does not exist, which is ironic since Eevee starts as a normal type.
Right.
But whatever. So that's kind of some of the rumors out there for that. As I said, that some people saying, why wouldn't you just choose the Eevee one? Well, because Pikachu is really fucking popular. And Pikachu has always been like Ash's main go-to Pokemon. Yeah. So there's a lot of people who are gonna be like, look, I want to start with Pikachu. That's just it feels like a traditional thing to me. Right. The following mechanic is supposedly in the game that you saw in Yellow. Where it doesn't have to be just Pikachu and Eevee. It can be any Pokemon.
Right. You can set any whichever one's in your first slot. Is how it worked in Yellow.
I think Yellow was just.
I know there was one of the games that.
It might have been Gold. I don't know. It wasn't. I don't think Yellow was the only one with the follow mechanic.
I don't know. I don't remember exactly, but I know that I'm pretty sure there was one of them where the Pokemon in your first
was the Pokemon in your first
was the one that followed you.
Maybe it was Yellow. I don't remember. It's long since I played Yellow. Yeah. I always assumed
it might have been just Pikachu. But.
Anyways, so there's all that, and that's really it. There's other few little minor details floating out there, but for the most part, that's what we know. That now, based on Nintendo actually buying the URLs, kind of tells us that all of this has been attached all of this could potentially now, like, is more likely to be true than not.
Mm-hmm.
What is for sure, at least at this point, to be true, as much as can be confirmed as possible, is that these are the names of the games and they exist.
Right.
And if they exist, they're coming to Switch because they
Well-
already said they're done with 3DS. So
Well, that doesn't necessarily mean they're not mobile.
yes, it does. They can't release core RPG on mobile. It's an agreement they have with Nintendo.
Oh, really?
Why do you think all core Pokemon games have always been straight Nintendo? All you've ever seen on mobile are spin-offs.
Interesting.
Magikarp Jump, spin-off. Pokemon Go, spin-off. What was that Pokemon? Oh, that puzzle one. I have it. It's actually not that bad.
Sure.
Anyways, they have it on
yeah.
3DS too, but it's also on mobile.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. All core RPG games have to stay on Nintendo platforms. So
All right. I'm still reserving it until I see stuff from it, but it's
still
it
reserving
doesn't-
what? What are you reserving?
My judgment. I'm not excited. I'm not, disappointed.
Okay.
But I'm leaning more towards the what the hell is going on?
Disappointment. Or shock.
Yeah.
Or not really
Or
understand.
confused
You
confused
can't
as crap.
confused. Can't understand
Yeah.
what they're doing.
Right. Yes.
Like I don't want to
Why?
write. I don't want to write it
I
off.
mean, it could be a great game.
That's the thing.
But
You don't want to write it off because we've been out of Pokemon, like out
Right.
of the fandom for so long
yeah.
that it's like, well, we said before, we don't really know what they need to do to get us back
Yeah.
in. So how can we know that this wouldn't be what gets us back in?
Right.
My thought process behind it is, I think it's smart.
Mm-hmm.
Another one of
yeah.
the big things. One of the big things is because the Pokemon Yellow thing is taking place in Kanto, and there's people that are bitching about it being in Kanto again. Like it should be in Hoenn. They should if they're gonna remake because they've already remade Kanto before. Why don't they remake Hoenn or Johto And I'm just like, I don't give a shit what land it's in. I give a shit the
They could
game's
make
good.
it so they could make it a whole new f***ing land for all I care.
I don't care if it's Wind Waker and it takes place in a fucking ocean.
Yeah, right. Sure.
I just care if the game's good.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I'm also not as heavily invested in Pokemon as some of these people that care. My whole thing is, I don't know if this game's going to be successful or not. I don't know if it's going to sell a lot. I don't know if it's going to be good or not. I assume it's probably going to be good because my general opinion about Pokemon, even as much as I might not be into it like when I was a kid, is that Pokemon games have always been good. I've never viewed them as anything but good games.
Right.
I might not be into it, but
Yeah.
that doesn't mean
No,
I
no,
don't
no.
recognize it as a good game.
Right. No, I'll
Like
get
the
you.
Pokemon Moon demo turned me off, but that doesn't mean I think Pokemon Sun and Moon are bad games. I
Right.
don't.
That's-
I actually think they're good games that I just can't bring myself to play, and that's a really terrible way to do things. That means I'm judging a book without playing it because I didn't like the demo, but maybe if I played the full game and got past that initial area, I would have been thrilled. And that happens. There's several games I have played that I hated the beginning, but I loved what happened after. I can even tell you that in the Zelda series. I hate the beginning of Twilight Princess. Absolutely hate it. It takes so goddamn long to get to anything that matters and is fun. But then once you get there, the payoff is huge for me. So
Right.
that's the thing. But I have a love of Zelda, so I will push through things hoping it gets better. Whereas with Pokemon, my love isn't quite there right now. Now, so my whole thought process is Game Freak obviously looked at Pokemon Go and said, "Oh my God, this is the biggest thing in Pokemon history."
Right. No, and that makes sense.
I mean,
I understand why
I
they're
think
doing
I think currently right now, at its peak, Pokemon Go is the most popular video game to ever exist at a single time. I don't think there's even if you don't want to consider it a game, it's considered a game. You don't have to consider it one. You consider it a social experience, whatever you want. It's a social experience of people capturing fucking Pokemon.
Yes.
It's a game.
It's-
It might not be a game you think is good, but it's a game.
It is.
So, at any one point, it became the most people playing a single game at one time in the history of gaming. And even today, its concurrent user base is higher than any Pokemon game has ever sold. So, Game Freak and the Pokemon Company looks at that success and they go, look, yeah, lots of bumps in the road, lots of mistakes, lots of overpromises, lots of this, lots of that. And despite all of that, look how big it got.
Right.
Obviously, they look at it as, why can't we make that happen with this? Now, there is a difference of it being Perfect Storm. AR game at the time that people are kind of thinking about VR kind of stuff. It being on mobile phone devices, there's over like 1 billion of those in existence.
Oh, yeah.
So-
I'm just gonna check on the download.
So there's all these things, and my opinion is that they looked at that. They said, how can we get a piece of that? How can we get back to 20+ million in sales like in Gen 1 and Gen 1 for the most part? And I don't know that they have an answer. But what I know is they're trying to figure out what made that special so they can capture a little bit of that in the core series. And the thing is, I also don't hate Pokemon Go. I like Pokemon Go. I think it has some issues. I don't think it's perfect. But for what it is, I enjoy it. I still play it once in a blue moon.
Yeah.
I'll probably bust it out when we're gone at E3 because I'm in a whole new area with tons of Pokestops.
Yeah, right.
So like I'm gonna try it out when I'm there. I have fun with it. I'll probably bust it out at E3 if my phone can even connect to anything. There's so many devices there. But ultimately, I don't know if I'm going to like what they're doing because we don't know what they're doing.
Right.
Some people already hate it because of the association to Go. Right. And I'm like, I get that you might hate Go.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that this is Go. Just because it says Let's Go Pikachu doesn't mean this is Let's Go, like Pokemon Go Pikachu Edition, Pokemon Go Eevee. Like, that's not what this is going to be.
That's the only problem.
They can't do AR. Let me just tell you right now. Pokemon Go is built around AR. Switch cannot do AR. There's no camera.
There's that.
So it literally can't be Pokemon Go. So anyone who fears, oh my God, it's going to be Pokemon Go. No, I think there's, like, here's one mechanic that I feel is obvious you could take from Pokemon Go. No more random encounters. You're in a 3D world. You can see the goddamn Pokemon and decide if you want to approach it or not. That's what happens in Pokemon Go. You walk around. You don't get in a random encounter. You see the Pokemon. You tap on it and decide if you want an encounter. That's the way it works in Go. That is a huge mechanic you could throw into the main Pokemon series that I don't think ruins the Pokemon series.
No.
I think that might be a positive change. Again, until I play it and experience it, maybe it's a negative change.
Well,
but
it also saves you a lot of time.
I don't think that's a. I mean, do you guys think that's a bad change? I don't.
I honestly don't mind that change.
If it's a 3D world, full 3D world,
right?
That's my big caveat.
Right.
If I'm walking through a huge fucking forest, I don't want random encounters. I want to be able to see the wildlife.
Right. Well, it's one of those things that you could spend a ton of time just wandering around that same freaking area trying to find, one Pokemon. Where if the Pokemon's there and you know it's there, either it's there or it's not, and you can just walk away and come back.
Yeah, that's you. You don't waste a lot of time that way. So it's, I don't know. That's just my viewpoint on it. I don't think. I am almost a little more excited than I was before because my greatest fear was that this was going to be just another Pokemon game in HD. Mm-hmm. It was basically going to be Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, Pokemon Stars, or whatever it was, and it was just going to be a traditional 3DS style Pokemon game, same perspective, same mechanics, same everything in HD. And some of you guys might be like, that's exactly what I fucking want. And that's great. But that's not what I want. No. What I want is I want this franchise turned on its head. And I Breath of the Wild, that son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what I want to happen. Not all Pokemon fans are going to be happy with the changes, of course. You know how many Zelda fans hate Breath of the Wild because it doesn't have the super in-depth dungeons and stuff like that? There are tons of people that played Zelda games because of those dungeons. And if that's the case, Breath of the Wild's not for you.
Yeah.
But
they're wrong. No.
But Breath of the Wild is still the most popular Zelda game ever.
Yeah.
So even though it might not have like a lot of Pokemon fans be like, if they do this, they will be shitting all over the Pokemon fan base. At the same time, they would be expanding the Pokemon base potentially because think about this.
Potentially recapturing.
I look at it like this because the current Pokemon fan base is huge, 15, 16, 17 million strong.
Yeah.
That's fine. I think the way they look at it is even if we say we do this risky thing and it pisses off 10 million of that 15 to 17 million, and those 10 million just outright refuse to buy the games, their hope is they make up for that 10 million loss on the backside by expanding the franchise to people who haven't been playing, whether it is people who just never played Pokemon before, or whether it's people who only play Go, or whether it's people who, in a sense, like us, fell out of love of Pokemon. I think, and I know they've been trying to recapture Gen 1ers and stuff several times, but it's never worked. Mm-hmm. So they look at Breath of the Wild, but look what Breath of the Wild did. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it pissed off this sect of Zelda fans by not having the super in-depth dungeons. But look at it becoming the best-selling Zelda game ever, literally creating brand new fans of the franchise. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the way they're looking at it as, even if they piss off a bunch, they're hoping to expand the fan base.
And the thing is one of the things with Zelda too is I'm surprised that they didn't put in a DLC pack that had a couple of fairly in-depth dungeons, because that's something
They added a dungeon.
Right.
I mean, it was
but-
it was
That's
the
something that could
dungeon.
have probably
but,
have been quote unquote easily done.
yeah.
Yes, it's not Breath of the Wild, but it
I don't. No, here's the thing. The reason they didn't
Mm-hmm.
do it is because exactly that's not what Breath of the Wild is.
Mm-hmm.
It would not have fit in the world of Breath of the Wild,
Mm-hmm.
and it would have made people feel like, oh, to get one dungeon the way I want it, I had to spend $80. I'm still disappointed with the game. When Twilight Princess, I get 9 of them or 13, and blah, like. Here's the thing. I understand why people who love Zelda dungeons don't like Breath of the Wild,
Mm-hmm.
but you also have to understand, Breath of the Wild added more fans than it lost.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what franchises have to constantly do. Because you know what happens when you don't add more fans than you lose, or all you do is just keep the same fans happy and you don't do anything radical. You don't do anything special. You don't try to change things up in a meaningful way. And some of you are going to argue that it has done this. But I look at the sales of the Pokemon games, they've just been consistent.
Mm-hmm.
They're consistent across generations. They're not growing. They're not shrinking. They're just kind of staying around the same.
Mm-hmm.
That's called, you know what they call that? A stagnant franchise. A franchise that can't blow up past where it is. It doesn't really lose anyone. It just satisfies the current consumer base and continues to satisfy it. Like when people talk about how, oh, they revisited Kanto and they've tried to bring back Gen 1ers and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, they've tried. And all they've been able to do is just keep the people playing Pokemon who currently are playing Pokemon. So they haven't. So they might view it as, we haven't been radical enough.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Go. Look at how many people played that. Holy shit, that's more players than we ever thought were interested in Pokemon.
Let's take the quote unquote what's viewed as the best parts of Go and incorporate them into an actual Pokemon.
Yeah, that's the thing. So, like, I'm excited by this just for the prospect of, to me, this is probably the closest you could get to Breath of the Wild in the series ever. And this is without me
Right.
even knowing anything.
Right.
This just tells me they are
Okay.
considering radical ideas.
Okay, you've pushed me a little bit more closer to being excited, but I'm still gonna hold
Well,
judgment.
yeah,
until-
well, that's the thing. This
I
is all
can't-
potential.
I can't judge
we're
until
talking,
I see
yeah, we're talking about potential. By the way.
concrete things.
We could see the game and it could just suck donkey dick.
Right.
But
Horse guy.
horseback. but we still don't know. We don't know. All I'm saying is when I hear all this and I'm like, that's really weird. That's really strange. Let's do it. That's what I hear. That's like what I get out of it. This sounds funky. It sounds like something I initially would be turned off from. But at the same point, I'm like, but wait a second. That's the way Breath of the Wild sounded. Wait a second. That's the way certain other games have sounded that have flip-turned shit around and ended up being utterly fantastic because of it. So, let's wait and see what happens. Even if you end up hating this, the idea is to grow the fan base. Like, if you piss off 10 million Pokemon fans, you know what? They're going to be right back again on the next game that's traditional. Because that's the way they are. They love the series too much to look at one generation and be like, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, if they were the next generation is exactly what they want it to be. They'll be back again.
Yeah.
And they know that. They know they have that loyal fan base because the series is stagnated.
Right.
So they don't care about, I'm not saying they don't care about that fan base. I'm saying what they want to do is, as big as Pokemon is, they want to be bigger.
Right.
They don't want to be Call of Duty and just be satisfied with the current numbers.
Right.
They want to do something, just blow the thing up and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think is going to happen. We'll see if they pull it off. Now my expectations have actually, because of this stuff, have risen. I'm expecting this to blow my mind in just completely radical, out there new ways that are unexpected, like Breath of the Wild
boy.
did. I expected the Breath of the Wild.
Yeah,
Only thing I expected out of Breath of the Wild was open world. I didn't expect that was fucking physics. I didn't expect to love the breakable item system. I know a lot of you guys hate it. I love that thing. I didn't expect to love the pure love of exploration to just rush over me.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't expect any of that shit. So, at this point, I can't make a judgment until I see it, till I play it. But I am just thrilled that it seems like they're taking a massive chance here with the next core game. And I got to applaud that. We got a $5 super chat from Jackie. Angeli said, it may just be my area, but most of the people I know still play Pokemon Go. didn't play Pokemon. They just like walking and playing phone games. And that's a thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like by calling these games Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, they're hoping that the marketing itself they're probably even in a partnership with Niantic where they can advertise the games in Pokemon Go.
Yeah,
That's a very smart thing to do.
Yes.
And they're going to be like, wait a second. The Switch system that I know about because I keep hearing about it, you're telling me like there's a game kind of sort of related to Go that I can connect and do.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe while they're walking around playing phone games, they can walk around and play Pokemon Go, then get home and play Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee.
Why do you even have to wait to get home?
Why?
Because
It's because they're playing Pokemon Go on their phone on the go.
Well,
You're not going to expect.
catch all the Pokemon.
You're not going to hold.
You're
You're not going to hold. You're not going to hold a Switch on a phone walking around.
Hey,
like that,
you never know.
Double fisting. Double fisting.
Yeah, right.
All right. I got to get a shot in for that. Thank you so much, Jackie Boy. That was a really long response. But that's the thing. It was a big question to me.
Yeah.
When you ask our thoughts on Pokemon, I'm like,
sure.
we just, our thoughts are going to expand as we find out more. But thank you so much, Mr. Jack Angel. All right.
To the chat.
Mark Greenberg says, also, next year, if we don't go to E3, will you do like a super long stream and watch every E3, even for third parties? That would be awesome to watch, and no YouTuber does it. There are YouTubers that do that. Don't say no YouTuber does it. I literally live and die by some of those streams. And I'm not just talking about the IGNs and the GameSpots of the world, right? Like, a lot of YouTubers are streaming every single conference. So that's actually not that uncommon. What is uncommon is the Nintendo community to have a YouTuber that does that. There are some that will stream the Nintendo event, but to have them stream the Ubisoft and the Microsoft and the Sony and the EA, like, no, they don't always do all that because it's a lot of work. It's a hell of a lot of work. So would I do that in a following year if we didn't attend? Maybe. I can't guarantee because it requires a lot of planning on my part because I need someone to watch my kids.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I did for this trip. But the difference is if I'm at home and my fiance is the one watching them, when she gets tired of them, she's still going to try to dump them on me. I need to set up my life in a way where that can't happen.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as I'm working from home, that's the one downfall of working from home is that your significant other thinks you're at home, you're always available.
Mm-hmm.
It's not because they
Right.
don't respect that I'm working. It's that they're too stressed out, and they know I'm home, so let me deal with the kids.
Yeah.
So it is a potential if I can get people to watch the kids, probably my parents or something. But you know, I'm not really sure what else to think about that. Other than wait and see what happens. I'm actually going to try to do that when I'm in LA, believe it or not. On Monday, I'm going to be watching all the conferences, and if I can get internet to work well enough, I actually am going to try to already do that this year.
Wait, what?
But I don't think it's going to be good enough internet for me
Don't know.
to stream it into me, to restream back out to you with me on camera. I don't think it's going to work. But damn, I'm going to try.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's worth a shot. Anyway, so I'm already going to try to do it this year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easy this year because the kids can't be dumped on me. They're literally all the way across the country. So even if she wanted to dump the kids on me, she can't.
Yeah.
My flight's prepaid, can't get a refund. So not taking an early flight home, not happening.
Yep.
Unless, of course, emergencies
Well,
aside,
right.
one of my kids in the hospital, you know,
Right,
someone
right,
dies.
right,
Like
right,
obviously,
right. Yeah.
there are always extenuating circumstances you set aside to.
Right.
But I'm hoping I don't even have to worry about anything like that. So we had a question before that from
Yeah, I
Edward
saw
Norton
that,
who said, "Are you going to play Super Smash Bros. at E3?" At first, I was going to say hell yes,
Yes.
but there's a caveat now.
Mm-hmm.
You have to sign up for a time slot from an email you get on June 5th. Don't know when this email is going to arrive, but it sounds like the time slots are limited because it says while available. So the thing is, if the time slots don't vanish in the first 2 minutes of the email going out, then yeah, we're going to play. If the time slots are gone when we go to sign up, then we don't have a choice. We can't.
Right.
Because there's no way to play it if you don't have a time slot.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm praying that we can get 2 time slots, or the same time slot, or 2 different time slots, whatever.
At least both of us.
Whatever.
play.
Like, at least one, but hopefully both of us get to play. So
Right.
hopefully we get 2 time slots, regardless of whether it's together or not.
Yeah.
And we make it happen, because we have two individual passes. So we'll see. We're going to be signing up. I'm going to be refreshing my email like mad that entire day because I don't know when it's going out. Don't know if they're sending it at midnight, 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 8 a.m., noon. We don't know when the email's coming.
Right.
There's no warning on when the email's coming, which might be a good thing, might be a bad thing. Could be a blessing, could be a curse.
Right.
But yeah, we're hoping that we get in before I'm afraid the time slots are going to run out. So I'm hoping, because we don't know how long the demo sessions are. We don't know how many kiosks they're going to have for it. You might figure, they're going to have a zillion and one. Yeah, but they're not going to have lines for it. So it might be something to have off in a smaller area where there's just like 20 systems and they're only doing 20 people at once. And I don't know, how many thousands of people are going to be trying to get the slots.
They bought space in the other hall just for that.
Just for that. So there's that. KFC Switch Top fan also said, did you hear about the new mobile Call of Duty game being made by King? No, I have not, nor do I care, because it's not on Switch. I care about Switch games.
Yeah.
Jack Angel, thank you so much for your support. He says, I don't hate them bringing elements of Go into these games. It just depends what elements they are.
Right.
Also curious, how many new Switch owners will come of this that play Go and have never played Pokemon? That's a very good question as well. I think Switch is becoming a very well-known thing. If it's advertised properly with Go, how many more sales could be added?
Right.
And $10 is it's still just a beer. I'll give you two. I'll give you 2 shots for that 10 spot. Thank you so much. I'll treat it as 2 $5.
You just want to drink.
No. By the way, for those who don't know, I'm going to keep doing it for a while. Our shot chart works on an escalation scale. So what does that mean? If you did let me see. If you did the $20 spot for Kinky, I'd have to do a Kinky and a beer shot. If you did the $30 spot and I have to get iced, I'd have to get iced and do the Kinky and do.
When did we change
so it
this?
escalates. No, this is just a thing I've been doing recently.
Oh.
No one's actually screwed me over with it yet, so I'm going to keep saying it until someone screws me over, and then we'll cut it off. Because what's going to happen is someone's going to come in with a $500 for tequila, and I'll have to go tequila, Goldschlager back-to-back, which that's going to be hell. Then a Jackal Blast, then a Watermelon Smash, then get iced. Get iced after all of that. Holy shit. And then a Kinky.
No.
And then you can still have a song of choice if you really want, and then a beer.
You can have your song of choice. You can probably have
Although
a couple songs of choice.
technically I shouldn't be doing 2 of these because I just read my own rules.
Yeah.
It says 5 and under. It technically says 20 and under, so it should be a Kinky shot. Technically.
Wow.
I'll do a half Kinky shot since I did 2 of these. Plus, this Kinky's way better than the green.
Yeah, probably.
Nintendo Prime Blue. You know what's funny? Anything that's blue, I keep saying Nintendo Prime Blue.
Even though it's not.
Everything's Nintendo Prime Blue.
Yes.
What do you mean? According to
That
the
is actually
T-shirt
pretty
designs,
close, yeah.
there are 6 different blues in my logo.
Yes.
6 different blues. At that point, you might as well just say every single blue is Nintendo Prime Blue.
Yes.
Even though technically Nintendo Prime Blue is only supposed to be my favorite color of blue, but then I debate over which of the light blues is my favorite because there's 17,000 shades. Nobody knew, but thank you so much, Jack.
Don't forget, if you change your hex color by 1, you're technically in a new shade.
Woo! That is way stronger. All right. Not a surprise. Let's go to one more Marquette's questions in, and we'll go down the way here. Justin Caldero's hyped for E3. Nice, man. I did read your about comments, Mark. In fact, we spent a majority of this 48 minutes talking about them. Happy for you, Nate. Thinking big, living right. Trying, man. We're trying.
Power Rangers Legacy.
27 days. Oh my God, we're less than 4 weeks away. Yeah, right. We are literally a day less than 4 weeks away. It's crazy to think that in 3 weeks we're flying the hell out of here. Like, holy shit,
I know,
dude.
right?
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Basically, we have my son's birthday, and then like his actual birthday on a Tuesday, and then it's not that weekend, but the following weekend after, we're fucking gone. My kids get done with school on June 8th.
Yeah.
I'm gone like a day and a half later.
Yeah.
This is like, oh, I'm so pumped. I can't wait. I'm excited for this trip. I'm way more hyped for this trip than the last one, even though the last one was sweet for Zelda for me. Because it's the main thing for me, it isn't just the amount of games and how I think this is going to be one of the best E3s Nintendo's had in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they arguably have had great E3s lately. It's that it's just the whole doing it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Doing it for something I wholly own, I wholly control, I owe to no one. Besides you lovely people.
Yeah.
You guys are amazing. I'm going and I hope I do you proud. If I fail, let me know. Trash my coverage after the fact. I don't know what to say other than, bah. I mean, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try the best I can. I'm trying to learn new editing techniques as well. Our editor that does the podcast has been filling me on some tips. I'm trying to practice. I'm trying to learn how to do new transitions. Yes, not just the fade in and the fade out, the default transition in Premiere. I'm trying to learn how to use other transitions. They're not even that hard to do, and I keep not doing them. I need to add more entertainment value. I need to start doing shots for every video I make. I've made 1,000 plus videos. It's time to shot. Oh my god, I'd die. Just die.
Yeah, you would.
Let me see here. You're gonna try convincing Delta Gaia says they're gonna try to convince their dad to let them go to E3 this year. Wish me luck. Man, good luck. I wish you luck because you have to pay $250 to even go.
Yeah.
So good luck, because they're not just asking permission to go to E3. You're asking your dad to pay for you to go to E3. I'm assuming. Maybe you have your own money. But asking your dad's permission to allow you to spend $250 to go. Wasn't the Eevee one just a mock-up, or the Pikachu one might have been real? So the Eevee logo was a mock-up. The Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu were always paired together. Just the Let's Go Pikachu logo is rumored to be the legit logo. The Eevee logo was a mock-up, but the idea of the games existing clearly as Let's Go Pokemon, or Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu obviously exists because Nintendo just bought the domains yesterday. As soon as that stuff came out, they're like, yeah, we got to buy the domains now before some fan buys them, and we have to buy it back from him or force a legal reason to get it back. Let me see. Black Ops 4 tomorrow, boys. That's right. I hope tomorrow for Black Ops 4 we see a Switch announcement before it. Or it doesn't even need to be a Switch announcement, just the Switch logo at the end of the trailers.
Yep.
Associate the game with the platform now, and I will be thrilled. I've been waiting for third parties to start doing that, to start treating the Switch as an equal platform. So I'm hoping that happens with Black Ops 4 tomorrow. Regardless of what gets announced, single player, no single player, Battle Royale mode, no Battle Royale mode, whatever it is, just treat Switch equally to Xbox One and PlayStation 4. M. The Moon says, I need to get this out, Nate. I love you, man, but you seriously rank loyalty to you and this channel through money donated. Basically, if I donated $1,000 right now, I would become the most loyal. Bullshit. That's a really weird comment. Because one of our most loyal people has never given us a dime, and that's Duo Master. So our most loyal fans are not necessarily based on money. Now, obviously, people who donate, people who super chat, their names stick out more because they appear like 4 times in my feed. They appear in my recent events. They appear on the back end of YouTube. So like I see their names a lot more in general. But like M. The Moon, I'm well aware of how big a fan you are of me. In fact, at one point you called me a father figure. And then I told you I was a little bit uncomfortable being called a father figure. But then you said, how about a brother figure? And I was like, okay, you can kind of look at me as a big brother kind of figure or something. So I know how loyal you are. I don't really see how money determines how loyal you are to me. All that happens is for every super chat and every donation, we shout you out. Thank you. And your question drops to the top because they paid for the question to jump to the top. But the thing is, on the Moon, that would make sense if I wasn't reading questions from the chat. If all I did was take questions through super chats, yeah, I can see what you're saying. But like, I am literally, you guys know, I go through the entire, like, I am way behind in the chat. Look where I am in the chat. Like, I'm not even halfway through where the chat is from the very beginning, and I am answering questions of everyone. I try very hard to answer every single question, treat everyone equally. The only difference is if you do super chat and donation, it just jumps to the top because a notification pops up and people are paying to have their question answered first. So of course I'm going to answer it first, but I'm still going to get to your guys' questions. So it's kind of a bullshit remark. I'm going to call bullshit on that I treat people who give me money as being bigger fans of my channel than those who can't afford to give me money. And it's weird on the Moon because you've actually donated to me before, so you would be among the people who donate. Whereas Duo Master and other people like him would be people who don't donate but are still highly loyal to the channel. So I don't know where that remark comes from. That's really weird, to be honest. Because I've given B Righteous a bunch of shout outs because he's probably given over three grand in total by now. He paid for most of the he paid for 3/4 of E3 and total donations and super chats. I mean, he's obviously way up there. But I mean, like, that doesn't mean that he's like the most loyal fan we have. What it means is he is maybe one of the most financially stable fans we have, and one of the most generous fans we have. But I wouldn't even call B Righteous our most loyal fan. I just think that B Righteous is a fan that I can't forget, because when you donate thousands of dollars to a channel, like, that's life-changing money. We're not talking about, a couple bucks for a song or to do a shot or to make a silly remark. We're talking about life-changing money. Like, you always remember life-changing money. You don't forget the $1,000 someone gave you, right? Like, so you're right in that, if someone donated $1,000, I'd take notice and I would be severely thankful. But it doesn't mean I think they're a bigger fan. They just obviously have the financial stability to support me like that. And I can't forget that kind of support. Because, again, thousands of dollars is a life-changing donation, man. Life-changing. Like, this E3 trip is life-changing for me. Regardless of what happens, it's a life-changing event. Because it's Nintendo Prime's first E3. That's life-changing in its own. So, our first E3 recovering as a YouTube channel even. Like, life-changing. But, yeah, I don't view money as a way of you can't buy loyalty. Like, I can't have someone who's never watched my channel before come in, drop a grand on me, and suddenly I think, oh man, he's my biggest fan. Like, that's not how it works. You can't buy loyalty from me. What you can is buy my gratitude, because I'm forever thankful of the support. But there's other ways to support: subscribing, sharing my videos, not acting like this. I guess the Moon. Like, these comments are always. I don't know, man. Especially since, like, that it's weird coming from you too, because in our Discord channel, which I talk to people on Discord all the time, that I've tried to be there for you. I've tried to give you confidence and give you personal advice when you needed it, when you've expressed you've needed it. So, like, I've tried to be there for you. Am I sitting there doing that for people who just give money? Like, that's silly. That's stupid. It's a stupid remark. I think you're just jealous, maybe, that I'm shouting out super chats. That's the only thing I can think of at this point. I gotta get over that jealousy, man. You've gotten more personal attention from me than most of the people in this chat, including Zach Smeenster and Edward Norton and other people who support me monetarily, Jack Angel, etc. Like, you specifically on the Moon have gotten a lot more, like literally me talking to you than a lot of these other people have. All right, moving on. Sorry, I just hate these kind of accusations like that. It just like that hater comment I responded to before, and I know the Moon's not a hater. It irks me when people misconstrue what reality is with me. Because these kind of comments are about me as a person. Like, it's just. Anyways, so tabletop mode pops in. He says, I tweeted the other day, I got a verbal confirmation the other day of 12 unnamed SKUs coming to the Switch. I got verbal confirmation from our local GameStop that there's 15 unnamed SKUs coming to Switch. So, like, the number's been fluctuating. It's all about what's available in people's computer systems. So, who knows? Who knows? There's a bunch of games coming to Switch. That's really all I can take away from this information. Scrolling down here. Let me see here. Xena says, I have more problems than just no real dungeons. Well, that's fine. A lot of people have problems with Breath of the Wild. My point was that Breath of the Wild not only became one of the best rated games of all time and one of the most critically acclaimed games of all time, it also became the best-selling Zelda game of all time. So as much people as they might have upset, they gained more fans than they lost. So they grew the series. Breath of the Wild grew the franchise in kind of the way that Ocarina of Time grew the franchise. Like, they grew the fan base. And as I said with Pokemon, I think they're trying to find a way, how can we grow that fan base instead of just staying the same? And they're trying to find a way to do that. So that's why I'm excited by this, because at least I feel like they're trying something new to try to grow the fan base. Trying. Again, a lot of presumptions made here. I got confused for a second. Wait, that's my phone. Oh wait, no. How I can tell is that your fingerprint's actually in a good place.
Yeah.
Unlike on my phone, it's in a bad place.
Sorry.
Let me scroll down here. And you guys can ask Eric shit too. Like he's sitting on this side because it's convenient, and his computer finally updated. I'm guessing.
I'm just working on my PC first, getting some stuff ready and
Set up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then make sure you download the demo too, so we can see if you can even edit
I'm
videos
gonna
on
wait
it.
on that a little bit, like 1 or 2 more days, maybe tomorrow night after on podcast, just so we know we have.
You know, after the podcast, it's gonna be like midnight.
No, before, like just before you.
Oh, are you actually gonna be here early?
Yeah, I'd probably come after work. Tomorrow.
Yeah, but you say that, and then you have to stop home, and then your mom has to do shit, and you show up here at
There's
9.
that, but
Like, that's what I saw. Like, Yulia's like, oh, he's coming over. When's he come over? I'm like, well, he's going to come over to eat. And I don't know if he's actually going to eat because he hasn't ate here in a while. But,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
he had to stop home. So I'm feeling 9,
Yeah, great.
maybe 10 because it's not podcast night.
Yeah, great.
And then maybe cancellation because he's tired.
Yeah.
All right, let me scroll down. Sorry. That was... So some sweet irony when he says I'll come over after work, but he's got to stop home first.
Yeah, well, that's never.
When you still live with your parents, sometimes, you know, you got to do things.
Yeah, they've done so much. For
Yeah,
me.
well, they've done a lot for you. They've done a lot.
I-
Like, it's not like he's unappreciative, of course. No, he loves his family, man.
it's one of those things where my mom asks me to do something, I kind of have to do it because.
You have to. I mean,
I
you're in a really sweet situation.
Yes.
All right. Let me scroll down here. See if there's any other question. Well, of course, there's other questions. It's just what is the next one? Nate wishes he was Ric Flair. Give us a woo. Woo! Oh, I love Ric Flair. Good thing Yulia wasn't home because she would be bitching me out so bad right now. I think Nate skipped my question by accident. If I did skip your question, I apologize. Feel free to ask it again.
That is also with the.
Yeah. If you ping me, I probably won't skip your question. As I said, I try hard to read everything. Yeah, I try to read everything. And M the Moon, you've been okay. I have to address this one more time because he said he skipped mine on purpose for sure because he knows it's true. I was going in order of the questions received, and you know I do that, M the Moon. You know I do that. You know I'm always behind the live chat. God, get out of here with that crap, man. Come on. Like, seriously, I just read that comment after responding to yours minutes ago. Like, think about that for a moment. You know this is how I do Q&As. This isn't your first trip to the rodeo, my boy. Okay, Ultimate Keymaster did repost mine. He says, did you hear that the Power Rangers Legacy Wars mobile game just got a Street Fighter 5? No, I did not.
It's kind of funny.
I don't even know what the Power Rangers Legacy Wars mobile game is because I don't play Power Rangers games and haven't cared about Power Rangers since I was a kid.
Hey, man. That Game Gear Power Rangers game was
the Game Gear one was sweet, but still, I mean that's one of the that's gotta be one of the straight like a Power Rangers Legacy Wars mobile game
right.
just crossed over with Street Fighter 5.
Right?
How? What? You might as well just say it crossed over with Barney and I don't know, Dora the Explorer, and then they somehow threw Mario in there and decided just for shits and giggles we're bringing Ren and Stimpy into the mix.
Yes.
I don't know what's happening.
Rocket.
Crossovers like that just blow my mind, and maybe it ends up being absolutely amazing.
Kind of makes sense.
I mean, they're fighters,
yeah.
but it's still all right. I mean, I guess it's not as crazy as what I just described.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, kind of cool. Kind of a cool thing. But I'm here every stream. I thought I was the most. See, I don't rank people based on loyalty. Like, that's the one thing.
What?
Like, if someone asked me, who, like if someone literally came out and it was the question tonight, hey Nate, who's your most loyal Nintendo Prime fan? It's right here. This guy literally works for me for free. I pay him nothing but kindness and friendship.
Right. You know how much work I put into his website without
Like,
even really...
It's not about, like, he's my best friend.
Yeah.
I always knew, like, what was the very first thing we really even did as Nintendo Prime? The podcast together.
Yeah.
An excuse for us to hang out
right.
every other week or so at the time, and now every week, because our lives are busy and we don't always find the time, but when we have that dedicated space, like, look, we're going to make this work every week.
Right.
Like, the podcast isn't just about the podcast. It's also him and I make sure we connect at least once a week, because, like, dude, life gets busy. I have kids.
Right,
He's got multiple
sure.
jobs. Like things just get crazy.
Well, I consider this a third job. So
Yeah, it is. But, like, so yeah, like if you're gonna talk about who's the number one Nintendo Prime fan, it's the person who's sitting next to me. Now you might argue he's staff. Okay, fine. Besides staff, who's the biggest fan? Myself.
Wait. What?
Well, besides
yeah.
the staff, it's more so I'll be able to list off a bunch of people who watch our live streams. Sure, Fire Soul, Ultimate Keymaster, M the Moon, Duo Master. Mark Greenberg used to watch more of our streams. He doesn't watch as much anymore. Man, I don't even know if Be Righteous even watches the stream much anymore, but he's a name I remember from streams. Jack Angel. Let me see here. Zelda 42513.
This is just a bad idea because if you forget someone.
But here's my point. Here's my point. These are just people watching the live streams. You realize that a majority of our fans, we have 33,118 or something like that. They don't watch. Most of them don't watch our live streams.
Mm-hmm.
For all I know, our most loyal fan is someone who watches every single video, comments on every single video, and never catches a stream. So it's like there's no way for me to rank or judge who's our most loyal fan. It can't be based on money, because that means you can buy loyalty. You can't buy loyalty. It can't be based on you just showing up to live streams, because whatever, people show up to live streams all the time. It means you obviously enjoy my content, but does that make you my biggest fan? Like, there's 41 people watching. All of you could be my biggest fans. Like, I don't rank fans like that. It's stupid.
Oh well.
I kind of view it like this. If you watch my content and you like it and you consider yourself a fan of my content, you're all my biggest fans. I treat everyone equally. No one's treated differently. And it feels weird to be questioned on that when I've consistently been that way. So I don't know. I even treat our haters equally, believe it or not. Sometimes you can argue the haters get more attention because more of the hater comments appear.
True.
More of the haters appear on Prime comments than everyone else, or I respond to more hater comments than I do positive comments. You can argue, if anything, the haters might be our biggest fans because I'm always talking to them. But yeah, like, to me, if you consider yourself a fan of my content, you're my biggest fan.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the way I am. Let me scroll down now.
There is no biggest. It's just a fan.
Yeah, I don't rank them like that. Like, that's dumb. I think it's one of the dumbest things you can do is rank loyalty of fans. I don't know how loyal you are to me. I don't care how loyal you are to me. You shouldn't just be loyal to me. There are other YouTubers that are way better than me. You should be watching right now. Probably other live streams you should be watching right now. I don't care. Like, I know it feels weird to say I don't care how loyal you guys are, but I don't rank your loyalties. That's all. I care that you guys like my stuff, but I don't rank. This isn't like a give me your top 5 favorite Nintendo Prime fans. Like, what?
Mm-hmm.
That's like shady shit, dude. You don't talk about that kind of stuff. Come on.
Fine, I got you. Me, and oh yeah, me.
So
just kidding.
So Yulia,
I'm joking,
Aiden, Melody, Ali, Eric. There's my top
there you go,
5.
say top 5.
There's my top 5.
The people who
My parents aren't even in there because my parents don't even watch my content.
The 4 people that depend on it, and
the 4 people that depend on my work, and then Eric.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a really stupid question.
Whatever.
Anyways, plus with that logic, Nate would have invited Be Righteous out to E3 or something, giving literally $2,500 for it. I mean, Be Righteous can go to E3 if he wants. That's up to him. He's got to pay his way. I can't pay for him. Ironically enough, I can't pay for him. Matthew Campos. Matthew Campos, don't forget about me. That's what I'm saying. Like, the point was, I was just spitballing off the top of my head. There's so many people that watch our live stream.
Yep.
Koopa Troopa Poopa, another example. We got Swag Trooper up in here as well. Gamer God Wannabe. Like, it's such a dumb way to rank fans based on donations. And heck, O2 Site just subscribed. Obviously a fan. Maybe he's my biggest fan. You know,
what, are we Canadian now?
Cheers. Did I screw?
Oot?
Well, that's the way I read it. Otuf. It could be out of sight.
It's
Duh.
out of sight.
God, I'm stupid. Apparently, I'm Canadian.
Canadian today.
I've been watching. When I watched the Toronto Raptors lose, I just felt bad, so I had to.
Oh, by the way, the Rockets were winning. They were up 14 in the halfway through the 4th.
Ooh, okay. God, they can score in bunches. So I don't know.
I know. I can check.
I don't know. I haven't been watching. Okay, so we have a lot of questions here.
Yes. We should probably actually get to those.
We've been getting to them. We like all these are because it's a continuation of that conversation.
Yes.
Let me scroll down here. See where I was at. You guys were responding obviously to some Pokemon stuff. NetherRealm handled that like a pro. Thanks. Oh, I mean, here's the thing. Like, whenever people say I handle something like a pro, I'm like, I'm just being honest with you. I mean, I don't want to say like I'm a good person or like a decent person, but I feel like any decent person would probably think like that. Like, it's one thing to say that stuff, but to really believe in it, like, I believe in this stuff. I don't know. This is the way I am. I guess you don't have to. How about gas money? I think I've had some people give me some gas money before. What's your favorite Mario game from Thomas Maynard? What's your favorite Mario game? And I already know this answer, I think, but maybe it's changed. I don't know.
Gosh. Yeah, I haven't really played a whole lot of Odyssey, but
It's okay. You played some other Mario games.
yeah. God. I do like 3. 3 is always fun.
3 is fun.
God, I don't know. I haven't really thought of that.
You haven't thought of it.
No, I really haven't.
What's your favorite?
64. Duh.
What's your favorite game of all time?
I mean, it's not Mario 64. But
No, but
yes.
we've had that discussion
Yes.
before Mario 64 came up.
Right.
It's
Yes,
one
yes.
of your
Yes.
like top games of all time.
So
That's why I was like, I thought it was
Odyssey might be-
unquestioned, but I was like, he's questioning it, which means maybe something's
I mean,
changed.
Odyssey. If I bet you, if I played more of it, it might
It might be.
outrank
Might
it.
be.
But
Might be.
that's just more of a thing.
Rabid Peach for Smash. LOL.
Ooh.
Fuck yeah.
I like that.
Rabid Peach. Oh, dude. No, Rabid Peach with the other Rabbit costumes. So Rabid Luigi,
Yes.
Rabid
Just
Mario.
a rabbit.
Just like just a Rabbit.
A
Period.
rabbit, and with the
Yeah,
different
period.
costumes.
But with the different costumes, that would
Yeah.
be great.
Yeah.
The thing is, I love the rabbits.
I
So
do.
like, why not?
Well,
Why
and
not?
then for the people,
Cheers, Jack.
And then the people who hate the, did you get Thomas?
Yeah,
His
he was
drink?
the one.
Did
Oh,
you
Mario.
get his drink though.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
What's your favorite Mario game? For me, it's a tough debate because I enjoy different Mario games for different reasons. Like, is Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle considered a Mario game? It's got Mario in it. He's one of the. He's literally the first name in the title. Is Mario Kart considered a Mario game? Mario Party. Like, how do you rank it? If you just go with the mainline series, I suppose, which I think most people can kind of generally agree on what that is. It's tough for me. I really love Odyssey a lot, but I don't know if I like it more. Like, Mario 64 is not my favorite Mario game. Let me just throw that out there right now.
Which ones you're not?
Mario 64 is not my favorite Mario game because Mario Galaxy 2 I like more.
Right.
But does Odyssey top that? And for me, for a long time, Super Mario World's been my favorite. And I kind of bounce back and forth between that and Galaxy 2. And Odyssey has kind of entered that mix as well. Because, yeah, I did really love 64. At the time that I played Mario 64, it was one of my favorite games of all time. So, for now, I'm going to stick with Galaxy 2. But, Odyssey might become my favorite once I finish more of the post game. I finished all the normal game. I've done some post game. Once I have a little bit of time to think about the impact of Odyssey for me, and then go back and think about the impact of the other Mario games, things might change. But in the moment, for now, I'm going to stick with Galaxy 2. Oh my God! Here it comes! Here it comes! Ultimate Keymaster, Eric. How does it feel to know you've gotten my brother hooked on Tap Sports Baseball?
Yes! Yes! Tap Sports Baseball. Hell yeah.
He said, obviously that wasn't the case, but I'm going to blame him anyways.
Yes, yes.
Of course, because there's always, when Eric's around, we got to find a way to bring up Tap Sports Baseball every time. We're not going to bring it up, I guess you guys will bring it
Yes.
up. Gamer God Wannabe said, tell Eric I live with my parents, both in their 70s, to help them. Plus, they have helped me. More power to you, man.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with living with
Yeah.
your parents.
No, there's nothing wrong with living with your parents. Like, I know there's that stigma out there that, like, if you live with your parents and you're in your 30s or something, like,
Yeah.
oh my God, you're such a terrible person. Like, you don't know, and not every situation is the same. There are people that take advantage of their parents like that.
Yeah.
Because their parents love them too much to kick them out.
Right.
Or maybe they
No,
don't love them
I just
enough.
have-
I don't know.
I
But,
just
like,
have a crap ton of student debt.
Yeah,
I
that's
can't
that's
afford
basically.
I
yeah.
cannot afford my own place.
Yeah, that's basically.
That's literally it.
That's basically what it is. Like, there's been talks in the past, like, and to let you guys in on a little bit of the past, like, if Yuli and I split and I had to get my own place, there's been talks of, like, Eric and I moving in together to make it more affordable for both of us. But it's also one of those things, like, neither one of us want that situation to happen. we don't want to have to, like, he would basically be doing me a favor more than himself because he would be taking on, you know, an extra $250 or whatever in bills a month or $300 or whatever it is per month, just so I don't have to pay all that on my own, which is weird since I'm doing all of that now. But he also knows that I would still be supporting my kids because Yulia, I almost need to get this down in writing, but she has promised me no matter whatever happens between us, she would never come after me for child support. She says that now, but I actually think she means it because, especially for all the stuff I've done for Melody, who isn't legally my child. So she feels a debt of gratitude to that. So I'm not concerned about that. We're not splitting anyways. Everything's great. But I'm just throwing out there, you know, just how that works for discussions we've had when there's been big fights and stuff. Like, ironically enough, the last time we went to E3, a big fight between Yulia and I happened when I was gone at E3. And that was probably one of the last few times there was a serious debate on us splitting. And at that time, I'm like, if we split, I can't afford, you know, and like there's benefits for Eric as well of not living with his parents. But the downfall is it's more bills that he'd rather not take on, and he'll eventually not have student debt someday. Everyone eventually will not, either when you die or when you pay it off. Jack Angel, I got your right here. He's asking favorite Metroid game. I don't even think Eric can answer that. Have you played any Metroid games?
Smash.
Smash the Metroid game.
Yep.
Yeah. Man, favorite Metroid
No, I
game.
have not actually played any Metroid games.
Favorite Metroid game. I'm probably, this might almost feel like a cop. No, hold on. Let me think about this for a moment. I can tell you some of my top ones. Metroid Prime. Metroid 2. The OG Metroid. I even like Metroid Prime Hunters. I think I probably would put the OG Metroid Prime at the top. I think I enjoyed that more than any other Metroid game I've played. The shock factor of the reveal of Samus is my number one moment in probably gaming history. But I'm gonna stick with Metroid Prime, the OG Metroid Prime from Retro Studios. Love that game. What are you waiting for?
Oh, I'm just
How you like me now?
Nothing
on
on
my
my
way. Ultimate Keymaster says, so let me put it to you this way. Power Rangers canon has now crossed over with the Ninja Turtles, the Justice League, and now Street Fighter and every Capcom IP connected to that series.
I am strangely okay with this.
Power Rangers just works with everything, doesn't it?
I am strangely okay with
Ren and Stimpy, my boy. Yeah, man. I don't reference Ren and Stimpy. It's the second time today I've referenced Ren and Stimpy. I don't remember. I was talking to my fiance earlier, and I mentioned Ren and Stimpy. I also mentioned Beavis and Butthead too.
You know a show that I guarantee you haven't thought of in forever. Cow and Chicken.
What?
Cow and Chicken. Do you not remember Cow and Chicken?
Never watched Cow and Chicken.
What? I mean, it's a Cartoon Network show, so it's.
I watched Cartoon Network,
Yeah.
but only late night stuff. Was it a late night show?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm not searching it up. I'm in the middle of answering their questions, not yours.
I am more important.
I'm
kidding.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
Let me show you how important you are.
Yeah, right. Hey, make
Make
it a
it bleed.
spoon. It's dull.
What?
Make it a spoon. It's dull. It'll hurt more.
No, because if I use a spoon, I have to try harder.
But it's dull. It'll hurt more.
But I have to try harder.
It's a freaking Robin Hood reference.
I
Come
don't care. When you tell me a spoon between me and you,
on.
there's only one thing on my mind, and it's not right.
Aw.
It's kind of gross. Oh. Haven't heard that sound since I was a kid. All right. Scroll down and get some questions here.
Yes.
Blah, 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 blah. Let me see here. Oh. Scrolling down. Zach Spears says, I already plan on living with my parents after college. Housing such apartments are too expensive for
Yes, they
anyone interested in small business ownership.
Yep.
I'd rather save that money for later. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it is.
It is.
I mean, honestly, if I didn't have all the kids I have, I don't know if I'd live with my parents now, but I would have a joint living arrangement with someone, either with Eric or somebody else, just for bill reasons. But, like, I've been on my own since, 19?
Yeah.
something like that. When my parents kicked me out, and I've never really forgiven them for kicking me out. So, I mean, I love my parents; they're amazing people. And I needed a kick in the ass back then.
Cow and chicken. You don't remember cow and
No,
chicken?
never saw Cow and Chicken.
Cow and chicken.
Sweet Life of Dio Brando says, "What's your favorite Xenoblade game?" The only one I played, Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Yep. No.
That's easy for me.
Yeah. And
I didn't play the other Xenoblade games. Literally, my first Xenoblade game was Chronicles 2.
What was the mobile game that we tried?
The mobile game. There was
Was
no
that one?
Xenoblade mobile game.
Okay.
There's Fire
so
Emblem.
That was Fire Emblem.
Fire
Okay,
Emblem
yeah,
was-
never mind. Then yes, no, I've not played on. So yes,
Pokemon Gold and Pokemon Silver follow the trainers. Yeah, that's right.
yes.
That's right. So there was follow Pokemon in Gold and Silver.
And I was
Those are probably the ones we were thinking
I was
of where
fine with Gold and
we're,
Silver.
we're the first Pokemon.
So I'm not
put in your
I'm
team.
not a
Followed us.
I'm not just Gen 1er. I don't
Not
mind,
just a Gen 1.
I don't
because you
mind
like
Gold
Gen
and
2.
Silver.
Because you like
Yes.
Gen 2.
Yes.
All right. Let's see here. Scroll down. Fire Soul, same for me. Metroid's a Smash playable character.
Damn straight.
Let's see here.
Oh, see, now they need to actually get an actual
Nicholas
Metroid
John.
in.
Said, I respect what you said about your situation, bro. All the best, man. Which situation? There's a lot of situations. Seriously, there's literally a lot of situations
wait.
in my life.
Mine or I don't know.
Maybe all of our situations.
Yes, all of us. Yes.
All right, we got to scroll because we did miss a bunch of comments because we were at Ren and Stimpy and then it jumped down.
Oh boy.
Let's see here.
Yes, Tommy for Smash. I'm okay with that.
Scrolling down here.
As long as we get the Zords in there, we're good.
I'm the Moon. I since this kind of wraps up, I think everything happened. He did say, "I'm not bitching and I'm not jealous.
Okay.
Fuck loyalty,
Okay.
and thanks for the support from all the love this channel and you all." Yeah, no problem, man.
Yeah.
I didn't think you really meant offense, but I know sometimes people kind of get into maybe the worst
it's
of themselves at times. It happens.
And also, sarcasm sometimes doesn't come across.
Well, he wasn't being.
types-
I know I'm
but-
the Moon. It wasn't
right.
sarcasm, but I think
Right.
I think sometimes, like some people are. I'm not saying this. Like I'm an emotional person,
Mm-hmm.
so sometimes you'll say things you don't really mean in the context that you're saying it.
Right.
But it feels right when you say it, and then when you go back and read it, you're like, okay, that wasn't really. That's
Yeah.
not really what I think.
Right.
So it's one of
I
those things.
think it
Like,
was-
in the passion of the moment,
Yeah.
things
yeah.
happen.
No.
Let's see here. Oh God! Please, Rabbit Peach for Smash, please.
Yes.
Her Smash can be selfies.
Yes.
Yes! Her final smash! Click! Ah, blinded in confusion! Matthew Campos had a $2 super chat. Life is an entire situation.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is, let me tell you.
Holy Christ, am I at 33 minutes again for fucking
The,
updating?
the updates for it.
I told you, I haven't turned
Cheers.
this thing on in a year, so I knew it was going to be bad.
Let's see here. Let me see here. Scroll down. Zach Sumitra said there might be better live streams. This is a response to a comment I made earlier about how there's like better
Yes,
live
yes.
streams to go watch, better YouTubers to go watch. But they have thousands of watchers. They're only responding to super chats, and then they're actually who M the Moon was talking about. Even then,
Not necessarily.
like Etika as an example, he responds a lot to his sponsors. He responds a lot to his. Obviously, he responds to every donation. The $20 and up donations because he gets so many of them. He can't. Like he gets so many donations, he can't even respond to them all. That's crazy. That's the way his world works. I don't even know what that world even would look like for me. But I don't think that they only care about the people that pay. I think what happens is, and this is true for me, is that when someone gives you money, you feel like you have a responsibility to pay attention. So, like when you talk
At the
about
very
how,
least, thank them.
like when you talk about how, you know, when they have thousands of watchers and they only respond to super chats, one, the chat's moving a million miles an hour and they're probably playing a game, so they can't read that million mile an hour chat.
Mhm.
Even on slow mode, sometimes it's moving too fast for them to keep up. And on top of all of that, it is that there is that thing like when someone super chats, when someone donates, like you feel like you should be appreciative of that. You shouldn't just treat it as like it's nothing. Every $1 donation, every 11 bits or 3 bits we get on Twitch, like you can't just treat that like nothing. Like me, I am so appreciative of a penny donation. Like a penny not gained is basically a penny lost, in my opinion. So like there is that innate ability. Like you have all these watchers, it's hard to pay attention to the chat, but you still try to go out of your way to make sure those $2, those $5, those $10, $20 that the donators at least get recognized for the fact that they're literally just throwing money at a screen at you for playing and talking about a video game. It's crazy that that's even a thing. So it's not that they necessarily think those are the most loyal people. They just view it as it's so hard to respond to everyone. It's just easier to pay attention to the money donations, because people giving you money is such a like if I'm at E3 and I have 7,000 people recognize who I am and they're all trying to talk to me, the people tossing money at me are going to be the people I notice first. And it's not because I think they're more loyal to me. It's because someone's chucking money in my face.
You're
How do
right.
I not pay attention?
Yeah.
So I don't even
Well,
agree that I'm not saying some YouTubers aren't that way.
It might be the person flashing you. That might draw your attention first.
I don't know. That $100 bill flies across my face. I can go get a lot of people to flash me for that.
You probably
It's called a
could.
strip joint.
Well, right.
And I'm sure LA has some good ones.
There's
We
very
should
well
check out
possible.
that nightlife. Anyways, no.
This isn't New Orleans. This isn't Bourbon Street.
It could be worse. Who knows?
Yeah, right.
Who knows? But no, it's one of those things where I feel like there are probably YouTubers that are like that they only ever thank their financial supporters. But it's still one of those things that I don't think that belief that that's all they care about is it. Not with all of them. Some of them, sure. But I don't think that's across the board. I'm just explaining to you from my situation. You'll notice there's a lot of comments we still haven't gotten to, but I've responded to every single super chat, every single donation, because I'm so appreciative that anybody thinks I am worth their money
Oh,
at all.
not to
That
mention-
I feel like I owe, if people are going to give me $1, I feel like I at least owe them a nod and a response.
Well, not to mention
Doesn't mean they're my favorite fans or whatever.
Not to mention bells and whistles go off, and it's kind of hard not to notice it.
Well, but I control that. I made it
Right.
so bells and whistles go off.
Right.
So,
But still.
anyways, scrolling down. Hey Nate, do you think there'll be a new Nintendo IP shown at E3? Says Yusuke Uchiha. Do I think there'll be a new IP? It's a good question, because I thought there would. If you had asked me before the retro leak, I would have been like, yeah, there would have been. But that's because I would have thought it was retro. Do I think there'll be a new IP shown
For who?
for Nintendo?
Who? At E3?
A new Nintendo IP?
Ooh.
To the level of ARMS and Splatoon, I don't think so. In the sense that they might show something completely new and original, yes. Probably something small. Think Sushi Striker level. Think something smaller scale like that. I think we are going to see a new IP in that sense. Because I think Nintendo is on this new IP kick. They've been on it for a little while, and I think they're going to show off a new one every year for a while. Just it's not always going to be a massive IP. They're going to mix in smaller and bigger, and I feel like we had ARMS last year, so we won't get a bigger one this year, but next year they'll unveil a new, bigger IP. Or an IP they're going to try to make a big deal anyways. M. the Moon has a question for Eric.
Yes.
How does it feel to be...
Oh, Jesus.
I can't even read it. It's such ego boosting. You read
Yeah.
it. You read it.
Oh, where are we at?
Right, it's right here. It's
Okay.
such an ego boost. I can't. Read it out loud for the audience.
Oh God. Well, I don't know. No.
The second part
Yeah.
is a little.
How
I hope
does
to God
it feel
everyone
sitting
has
at the right hand of, of a Nintendo God? Oh Lord.
it. I know.
Please.
Pump it.
Oh God.
I've been
please.
very good about keeping my ego in check.
God,
let's
please.
not get me in the clouds.
Lord. Oh, Lord.
Once my ego's out of control, competitive gaming really gets my ego out of control. So that's
Yeah, we know.
they might not. They might not.
No, if they've seen streams, they know. With us playing games.
Yeah, there hasn't been that many of those.
No, but
So. Anyways, go on.
yes. Also, how does it feel to have a best friend that is a true friend? There is absolutely nothing like it in the world. It is absolutely fantastic. I know he's always there for me if I ever need anything, and I hope he feels the same way about me. But yeah, you can't. You only as many friends as you have. It's hard to find ones that are true.
Mm-hmm.
So
I have a ton of friends.
right, I do too.
I
But-
consider Eric probably the only true friend of the group. And that's not saying like Logan and other people I know, they wouldn't consider me a true friend. Maybe they would. And I'm not saying they're bad people, but it's like I don't expect them to drop anything going on in their life for me in a crisis. Eric is a guy that I feel like if an emergency happens and I call him at work, he's going to show the hell up. Even if I hope I don't put him in a situation where he's going to get fired if he does it.
Right.
But I and the thing is, as a true friend, I would try. It would have to be something like my child just died.
Yeah.
Like it would have to be that level of intensity. I'm almost tearing up over here.
Yeah.
Because my big thing, and this is why I feel so bad for my fiance, is her only true friend's me.
Mhm.
She has other people. She tries so hard to make her true friend. Like one of her friends from high school, she's still just dragging around in Casey. And you know, there's Lisa and Gary, who I feel like she almost feels them as more of her real parent fingers than the parents that adopted her. But it's one of those situations where, like, one of the reasons I think that she's with me and is going to stay with me is because I'm the only person who's been there for her consistently since the day I met her.
Mhm.
And that's how you know you found someone special. And she's been there for me. And Eric as well. And I'm fortunate enough to have two people like that in my life. My fiance's gone. Something happens to me, and I need her. She's going to show up. I need Eric. He's going to show up. And we all respect each other enough to not call it upon each other in a situation that's going to compromise the other. If it's something, even if it really, really sucks, we can hold off. We can wait for that help until, like, I can wait till you're done with work and then please come help me. I know you might have to do something for your mom or this will happen.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm like going down the barrel here.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like it's one of those situations where it's not even just about the tough times. It's about the great times as well. It's so rare, I think, in life for people to find those true friends.
Mhm.
Some people have many of them. Some people only have one. Some people don't have one at all. And that's the thing. I never wish on anyone that you have to go through life alone like that.
Right.
Because you might have all the friends in the world, but if you don't even have one true friend, it's like you don't have any friends at all.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean there are people that don't care about you, but there's that certain level of extra care.
Mhm.
You know, I've said this before, and someone's gonna get me in a video in the future down the line. Like, if I was gay, I would have already tried to marry the man. Like, it's, you know, that's how important Eric is to me. So, yeah,
we are basically like brothers.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's awesome. We've both been through a lot in life. Both tried to be there as best as we can.
yeah.
And so it's not always easy. Sometimes you just don't even know what to say or what to do. But like somebody just being there, letting them know you care. You know,
No,
it's
just-
sometimes that's
just
all
as
you
a-
can do.
Just even as a space to vent
Yes.
is
Like having someone that you can vent to that's not going to judge you for the venting.
Mhm.
Like I've vented to him several times about Yulia. But I know he's not judging me and he's not doubting my love of her. It's
Right.
just he knows, like, you gotta get this stuff off your chest, right? I have nowhere else to go
Otherwise-
with it. If I do
otherwise
it to
it's-
her, it's gonna end like she has depression. On top of it, it's like I can't do it to her.
Yes.
I love her too much
Mhm.
to sometimes tell her exactly how I'm feeling because I know it's gonna impact her harder than I want it to. Like I might be angry or upset in that moment, but if I express that to her, she's going to be put in a compromising position for herself of hating herself when I don't want her to feel that way. Because I know once I get past it, it's not a big deal. And I have Eric for that. I can bitch and whine about that and move on in life. So yeah, I really hope that all of you guys have a true friend out there. Nothing replaces the importance of a true friend.
And we still need to do what we've been talking about before
What's that?
with our
With the
email.
helpline.
with our email.
Yeah, I was looking into that. So for those who don't know what we're talking about, we talked about this a long time ago because we had a podcast dealing with depression because we had some fan submitted topics and some questions about it because there's lots of in this household there's a lot of history with battling with depression and feeling like we can maybe help some people. When I was looking into the help emails and all that stuff, we gotta be careful legally.
Right. Right.
Very careful legally because no matter if we put all the terms and conditions in the world into when people contact us for help, we're still can become legally liable if certain things happen. So like we are in compromise. Like when I give advice randomly, like as an example, if like gamer guy wannabe or whatever, so just random person I just saw from the chat. If he comes to me in a private conversation and asks for some advice and I give it to him, I am not legally responsible for what happens.
Mhm.
But if I set up something specifically intended
Mhm.
to try to help people,
Mhm.
that adds a layer of legal responsibility for what I'm saying to them. So it's a different situation than advice to a friend or random advice to a stranger versus I set this up so you can come to me so I can try to help you. And it's such a tough situation because I want to help as many people as I can, but I also don't want to, like, I have a family, so I'm also like, I don't want to put myself in a compromising situation where something I said made someone do something or pushed them over the edge when I didn't mean to.
Right.
And because I thought maybe that's what they needed in that situation to, like, kick their butt and get them out. And
another thing,
suddenly I'm in jail because of it.
And another thing too, though, is maybe it's something that we don't even respond to. It's just a place where people can
Read,
send.
yeah.
No, we don't. We don't read. We don't respond. It's just a place people can vent. It's a place where people can let their feelings out.
Sure.
A place where they can write it down, feel it.
No, what maybe we could do, and this is something I say because I feel like as great as that is, I think people, if they were bothering to use us to send that stuff to, they want us to read it. But I do think there's some value in this in that we don't respond to them.
Yes.
What we do is we keep everything anonymous, and then randomly in live streams we'll just kind of bring up the time. Look, someone out there, is struggling in this kind of situation, and we're just going to give our thoughts on it. And hopefully, if they catch the stream, whatever if they do, they don't. But then, what I was looking at is that absolves you a little bit from legal because you're not ever directly talking to that person. And if you frame it in the right way, it could actually be towards multiple different people that are just dealing with that situation in general. That might be the best way to deal with it because I think if people do contact us for that, it's because they're seeking our advice when I'm not willing to give it.
Right.
If it's going to make me, because I want to give my advice. Like the way we are right now, you can come and DM me anytime you want. Like there's nothing out there saying that DM me for advice.
Right.
But what it is saying is that I care, and I do care, but I don't. As much as I care about you guys, my own family comes first. So putting myself in a compromising situation, trying to help people,
that would have to be something that we talk to maybe
a lawyer.
His mom.
We need
great. I don't know if she. But she would be able to hopefully give us
maybe
touch with somebody
someone maybe. But either way, I don't know.
It would be something that I know
we've talked about
really
this.
To do.
We've talked about this a lot. I think another part of it is time
and
finding time.
At the very, 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 very least, have an auto response with if you are contemplating suicide.
Oh yeah, the suicide hotline.
Have
stuff
the suicide hotline respond automatically.
Yep.
You are never alone.
Yeah.
If you need help, please.
Yeah.
This is the.
And that's my fear. My fear was that if we made it where we didn't respond, people would be like, or we didn't read it, they'd just be like, "You're ignoring me. I feel ignored again. Lost." Like I don't want them to feel that way.
No. But have a response saying, "You are not alone."
Yeah.
We may not.
I mean, like my number one thing is always, if you're suffering depression, get help,
please.
And even if you go get help, and say they put you on a medication, because I hear this a lot from people in the oh, I got help and they gave me medication, it didn't work. You might have to try 20, 30 different medications before you find one that works.
Also,
and that's only a Band-Aid.
The other
thing
just as well.
The initial help.
The other thing as well is medication takes time.
Yeah. Most of them takes at least a month.
No, a month to even just start. It's 3 to 4 to actually start kicking fully.
Sure, yeah.
Fully in.
I've noticed with Yulia, after taking it for a month straight, you can tell she's on it now.
Right.
But she's happier more often than not, but she's not getting the deep lows anymore. And then the longer the one she's on now, this is her 3rd month straight.
Yep.
And I mean, today was bad. Today was a bad day for her. Her depression was kicking her ass today. And she's been on it for 3 months, and she's been pretty much happy-go-lucky the past 2 weeks, and then this happened. And it sucks, because, medication isn't guaranteed. It just helps. You should still do other things, and that's the thing with, my fiance, is I keep encouraging her, as much as I could talk to you, there's counseling. If you don't even want counseling, there's so many different ways to approach it. And you got to find the one that's right for you, and you don't find it if you don't try.
And honestly, I have been through counseling. there is the quote unquote stigma of counseling.
Yes.
Do not listen to it. It is not real in any way, shape, or form. Well, it's the stigma is out there, but
Saying that it's not like it
It's-
hasn't happened to someone in the way the stigma is.
right,
That's not the common situation.
right.
That's the uncommon situation that it just didn't work at both of them. It could have been even an incompatible person and counselor. That's a thing that happens. Sometimes you need to find the right counselor.
Well, it's more of the
Because there's different approaches
it's
to
more
counseling,
of
too.
it is more of the stigma I'm talking about is more of the you're in counseling, you're crazy.
Oh, no.
That is not
Fuck, no. No, if you're in counseling, I consider you one of the bravest people in the world because you can admit to yourself you
Right.
need help.
Mm-hmm. And that is one of the first steps of recovery is admitting that you.
Yeah. I'd rather you admit help and admit you need help, get the help you need, and become happier for it than worry about, oh my God, people are going to think I'm crazy. The thing is, no one needs to know you're in counseling if that's something you're even afraid of, that stigma.
Right. Yeah.
No one has to know. The only people that are going to know are the people you tell.
Yep.
Like, it's completely private.
It's going to be you,
You
the
can just,
counselor, and
you can literally,
more
if
likely
you're-
the insurance company.
if you're wondering why, if you have to give an excuse to friends or something why you have like this regular appointment, you can lie or something, or say you're taking piano lessons, or I don't know, like
I was
like-
helping my grandma with something, or
Yeah,
I was helping
like-
my
like,
mom with something.
it's a
or I was
personal
helping
matter.
Somebody with it's a
I'm,
personal matter.
like people will generally understand when you say it's personal matter. I don't want to talk about it.
Mhm.
Okay, because that's not lying,
Right.
or whatever. Like you don't have to tell anyone. A lot of people that I have found out have been in counseling are people that I never knew were in counseling.
Mhm.
Because they had no rhyme or reason to tell anyone about. It's not like it's something they're proud of, but it's also something that ultimately, when they're done, or while they're doing it after a
Honestly-
while, they're glad that they did it in the first place.
I'm
They're
proud that
able-
I went through it.
They're able to freely talk about it like you are because it ended up being a positive experience. And they're not ashamed of it.
No,
So that's what I'm saying. Like, get rid of the stigma. Like, go get help if you
there
need
is
it.
no shame in going.
All
to
right.
counseling. Okay.
Let's move on to some other stuff here.
Switching gears.
The Rockets destroyed the Warriors
Yes.
tonight. What was the final
Oh,
score?
I don't know. I missed it.
If you can at least not have a Cavs v Warrior repeat again, that'd be great.
Yes.
Well,
But
we'll see.
I just have this feeling that the NBA is not going to allow it.
I don't think the NBA cares.
No, they're going to allow it to not be Golden State and Cleveland.
I don't think that matters.
127-105.
I don't think that matters. If you see the way, I know, granted, the Celtics have not played good on the road, but if you see the way the Celtics are playing, like, there's nothing the NBA can do. There's nothing the NBA can do about the fact that literally all the Cavaliers are right now is LeBron with a little bit of Kevin Love, whereas the Celtics are a complete team, unless you're starting to toss players. And if the NBA is just tossing players to make, like, the Cavs win, people are going to stop watching the NBA. It can't be that obvious. And I don't think Adam Silver cares. Personally, I think Adam Silver is one of the greatest things that ever happened in the NBA.
Yeah.
I don't think he cares. He actually has commented several times about the officiating and not liking some of the biases that seem to exist. And that's something they need to work on. But it's hard. There's unions
Yeah.
involved, all this stuff. Obviously, for a while, there was like some of the rest are betting. And that obviously isn't to the benefit of the commissioner
Well,
or the league.
There
That's
was
to the
also-
benefit of the...
But there was
people
also,
betting.
There was also the main reason, the main guy that is generally associated with it was he gave some advice to a friend who was apparently associated with the mafia, which he had no clue.
Yeah.
And then this friend kept coming back to him and saying, "Hey," basically, he pulled him in under the mafia's wing, and
Without
he
him
was-
knowing. Without him knowing.
and all of a sudden,
But it's still one of those things where he shouldn't have
Yeah.
gave advice in the first place. He kind of, sort of did it to himself.
right.
Like, I'm not. It just how deep it went wasn't
Right.
wholly. Like, I don't think he's a terrible person, but he's also someone that he had to have known. You like, if you are a referee of a sport, you can't be given advice on how to like
Right.
bet on sports that you are reffing in games that you're reffing. You can't do that.
You can do it after you're retired.
Sure, all you want because you're not affecting the game anymore that way. All right, moving on. Let's get back to some gaming and E3 questions. I'm sure there is some. Scrolling down here. If Eric doesn't find a way to shove Tat Sports Baseball into E3 week at least once, I will be minorly disappointed.
Oh, I will.
I know he's saying he will. I'm hoping he doesn't. You want to know why I'm hoping he doesn't? I'm hoping that he feels like he's as busy as I am.
Well,
Not as stressed, but as busy.
there's
In the way that he, like, as an example, we need to walk around E3 always playing our Switch so we can get our exclusive pin.
right.
So we can be part of the Switch E3 club.
Yeah, buddy.
Let's see here.
I might be on my last update. Nothing like a year.
Swag Trooper says, should I get Mario Tennis or Crash Trilogy in June?
Ooh, both.
I can't tell you what to buy. It's your money, man.
Yeah.
Unless I know more about your preferences in games. But I think when people start explaining their preferences in games, they answer their question for themselves. So should you get Crash or should you get Mario Tennis? Look at what games you enjoy most, and that will determine for you what you should get. If you can only afford one or the other. I could say neither and go get Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus. I mean, it's all personal preference. Scroll down here. What, Nate? What? There was something said here. What, Nate? Never watched Cow and Chicken?
Yeah.
Eric, you know what to do.
Cow and chicken.
Is there something in the?
Cow and chicken? No.
Is there something in the show?
No.
Oh,
No,
there's a
it's
show
a
in me.
fantastic show.
Dexter's
Yeah.
Lab was the best.
Dexter's Lab.
Dexter's Lab was good.
DD, you idiot! Get out of here.
Nate,
boy.
here we go. Nate, what surprise game announcement at E3 would make you crap your pants Nintendo-wise? Surprise, man. That make me crap my pants. I don't know if anything make me crap my pants. It's an expression, I know.
Crap.
Probably
I hope we didn't have this one.
Majora's Mask 2 or any sort of major 3D Zelda game. No,
Okay, good.
he was not glued yet.
Okay, good.
You can just lay him down. It's fine.
Father.
Yeah, you can just lay him down. It's fine. It's not a big deal. I know. I got. Oh, never mind. I already fixed it. Never mind. Anyways, yeah. So that would probably make me crap my pants because I wouldn't expect it. Mother 3, Mother 4, something like that. Like, here's the thing. When you talk about surprise game announcement make me crap my pants, I mean, it's like that Nintendo's making a Western-style RPG in the West made by Retro Studios. I mean, it's like it has to be something completely unexpected. Like, I expect the unexpected from Nintendo. So, I guess that's probably the most unexpected thing is a Western RPG in the style of The Witcher 3 made by a Western studio Nintendo owns in Retro Studios is my, like, dream. And it's probably never going to happen. Let me see. If Nintendo is making a Switch Pro with a front camera for AR, says Harry Tran. A front camera, I don't think would be good for AR, because that means that you're having the Pokemon cover your face potentially. I don't think that's a good way to do it. Like AR would have to be on the cameras on the back side of the Switch Pro. Let's see here. Sweet Life of D.O. Brando says, I understand YouTubers who only pay attention to the super chat, but the fun of a live stream is having a tiny part in the video. I understand. Some people do feel that way about live streams. That's why when I watch live streams, I personally don't watch live streams because think about what you just said there, and this is overanalyzing what you said. But the fun of a live stream is having a tiny part in the video. If that's the case, that means the fun of the live stream to you is being recognized in the stream. Whereas to me, I watch live streams to be entertained by the person doing the live stream. I've watched Q&A sessions. I watched one with Philip DeFranco a few weeks ago where I didn't say one damn thing. I didn't care if I got recognized. I was just interested in what he had to say about things and the questions people would ask. There's game streamers I watch that I don't say anything in their chats. I don't care if I get recognized. Some streamers I get recognized for. Some I don't care. I watch to be entertained by the person. I am literally watching live stream to be entertained. I don't get my entertainment by becoming part of it, right? Like I don't care if I'm considered part of it. I view it like watching a TV show. I'm there to be entertained by what is being shown. Now, for some people that might be seeing their name pop up or being mentioned, I just don't really think that's a good way of getting your entertainment, because what you're doing then is relying on someone's ability to read through a zillion comments and pick your comment out. It's just so hard to do that for a lot of people. There's streamers that are even smaller than me that might only have 15 live viewers that have a hard time doing it. So, let me see here.
Aren't you just special?
No, not really. Some talk about PSVR. Yeah, it's talking about VR stuff. Yusuke Uchilla, how long have you guys known each other?
Long while.
I don't even know what age. I couldn't even tell you a year. Since we were little kids going to the same daycare. Which puts me, based on what I know about monkey business, puts me between the age of 4 and 10.
So, yeah, it was probably
Before
closer
I
to-
switched
it was
over-
probably like
Before I
6.
switched over to the YMCA for a
It was
little
like,
bit.
I'm guessing it's somewhere.
So
between 4
somewhere
and
between
6.
4 and 6. Yeah, when we met each other, and we've been really good friends ever since. And then we've always been good friends. And then there was a few years there where we weren't in the same daycare anymore, and then we got older and didn't need daycare anymore, and we didn't realize we lived across the street from each
right.
other. So there was a couple years that were like weren't really in touch because cell phones weren't really a thing yet. And then at the moment we realized we lived across the street from each other, my parents had moved and built a house. It's just like, man, we picked up like right where we left off like 2 years prior. But yeah, we've been friends a hell of a long time. I mean, I'm going to be 32 this year. I mean, think about it. It's like 27 years of my life, man. Like, it's vast majority of my life. There is not an age I remember not being friends with Eric.
Yeah.
Like, I think back, even when I lived down in the flats, that's when I was in daycare. So it's like, I literally do not remember a time that him and I did not know each other. And there obviously were, but that was in your real little years when you just don't remember anything for the most part. Let me see here. Scroll down. The memories I have, by the way, from like age 1, 2, and 3 are basically memories my parents told me that it's their memories of me.
Yeah.
So I don't, that's not
I
my memory.
Remember.
Like, I was told I was masturbating when I was age 2.
There you go.
I don't remember that. But go Nate. Go Nate it too.
Right.
And now that I have boys, I can confirm it's kind of a thing that happens.
Right.
Whether intended or not. It's very awkward for Yulia, I'll say that. For me, it's like, oh yeah, right, I did that. Check my phone here. Make sure I'm not. Nope, I don't have. Make sure there wasn't anything going on with my fiance because she's out of town right now. Okay. But can you imagine having access to full dive VR? I don't think full dive VR exists. VR, as it is today, and the best of the best devices, to me, is still not ideally where VR needs to get. So I can imagine having access to something like that, but I don't think the tech exists yet. And I know you guys were talking about Switch and stuff like that, but okay, Yusuke Uchilla, I see your question for Eric. He's on the phone, so I'll wait and see that. What do I do if I don't have a question? Just listen, talk to people. Go check out a stream you'd rather watch. I don't know. Can't tell you what to do. I'm going to copy paste this question so I don't forget it for Eric. Copy paste that question. All right. Scroll down. Tango Jamo says, what was it I saw today? Something along the lines of how modern culture social media is selling depression in order for big pharma to sell us drugs. Deep thoughts. Hi. There is a thing with big pharma, and there are corrupt doctors and stuff out there. But I don't believe in the modern culture as media is really selling depression. I think there's a lot more attention being given to depression, which I think has overall been a net positive. Who cares about big pharma? They're obviously trying to make money and for-profit organizations, but I don't care about anything. I care if people get help. I don't care if it costs them $80,000, man. As long as they, at the end of it, are happier. To me, like, you can't put a price on happiness. Just my thought on that. Get you guys chatting it up down there. Let's see here. Let's talk about some game sales. Blah blah blah. Justin Caldero says, "Hey guys, not related, but I've been digging further and further into the Illuminati and their plans for the New World Order, and it's honestly disturbing." Holy crap, man! You've gone down the rabbit hole, dude. Have fun. There's a lot of crazy things out there about that. Let's see here. Let's scroll down. So I think I've actually caught up with the chat. Let me see here. Tariq Yaslin, last night I slept to the sound of your podcast. Wasn't my sweet and sensual voice? Was it his voice?
I'm surprised they didn't sleep to the ASMR.
Who won the tournament the other day, says Edwin Valenzuela. Sausage or bacon? I don't know. I never checked. And my Switch is right there. I guess I'll check right now. Because there's a question for you. I will answer that because I will look it up right now. Yusuke Yochilla has a question for Eric. Can you please be here more often? We love you.
I try.
That's a question for him.
I try. Not necessarily that I can, but I do work 2 jobs outside of this, and
He's here when he can be.
and yeah.
And he's got other things he wants to do, you know.
Yeah.
He can't spend all his free time with me. I mean, he could, but
Yeah.
he's got other things in life that matter too. It can't be all about me, man. And the Center Prime community.
What are we doing?
Someone wants to know who won my Mario Kart tournament the
Oh.
other night.
Got it.
I don't actually know because I never checked.
No, what the hell?
Well, I went to bed.
No, what the hell? What'd you do? Start a tournament and then leave?
No, I finished my races on live stream. So the grand winner was Sausage with 3,485 points. Bacon was only at 2,993. There was only 44 racers, 55 for Bacon. So Bacon had more racers, but Sausage performed better. And you know the Sausage is going to win when I am the #1 racer on the Sausage team. #1 overall was Dimpo for Sausage at 656. Keto Fox at 569. Fire Soul at 457. And then there's me at Bacon at 404. Followed by Namahamaha at 342. And like the top 10 is just the top 20 is just littered with Sausage. So a lot more Bacon players, but Sausage performed better. But hey, I get to say this at least. Let me hold this up. See if it pops up. For once, I can say I was #1 at something. I love Bacon the most, clearly because I was the #1 Bacon player in our Bacon versus Sausage Mario Kart tournament. As if that actually determines that.
Right.
Although I love Bacon. And I have some upstairs. And now I want to make it. God damn it. Eat your Sun Chips, Nate. Alright. My voice is super chill. Glad to hear that.
Alien.
Ryan Weaver. Oh, that's such a tough question.
Oh boy.
Are you more excited about Super Smash Brothers or Mario Tennis?
Ooh. That is tough. In a way, I want to say Aces just because of the fact that we haven't had a good Mario Tennis game in a while. Well, this one looks good. Doesn't necessarily mean it will be, but we've had, Smash is relatively
Put it this way, you know what to expect with Smash.
right.
We don't know what to expect with Aces.
Right. And I'm
So, I think Aces is the more exciting prospect because of the unknown,
right.
whereas Smash is like, Smash. We know what Smash is going to be.
Perfect.
Doesn't mean you can't be more excited for
just
Smash.
right.
Matthew Campos says, speaking of Splat Duo, where has he been? You mean Duo Master?
Yeah.
He came in a stream the other day, and I believe he said he let a friend borrow his Switch so he could concentrate more on other things, including grades and all that stuff. Not that his grades were being bad, but he felt like he was a little bit too distracted and needed to give his Switch to a friend, and that meant that he wasn't going to come to our live streams because Duo The reason he comes to our live streams is to play games with me and the rest of the community.
And,
So without his Switch, he doesn't really feel like he needs to be at the streams.
and
so that there you
spam
go.
Eric emotes.
Spam Eric emotes. So, and it may be a little sad that he only comes to play games. It'd be nice if he came for the sexy voice you just told me I had. But, yeah, anyways. Moving on. The top 5 is just littered with sausage. Oh, my. Oh, my. Oh, my.
Oh my!
When's your next tournament? I want to try it out this go around. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I do need to do a better job of advertising. We're gonna have a tournament ahead of the time. I gotta do a better job of advertising the streams in general. I don't even know, besides our people that are here all the time, how many people know that I stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
No.
If you go to my channel, you don't see the streams up on the channel. You don't see advertising for the streams anywhere. The only time it pops up is when we go live. So, yeah, I think it's one of those things that I can't tell you because I don't
Or if
know.
you remember to tweet it out beforehand.
Well, I can't tell you because I don't know. And all I can say is once we're past E3, I'm going to be working on getting better about that so you know. Why hand me soda?
Yeah.
Whew. That wasn't a sick cough. That was, I can't clean my fucking throat. Goddamn sun chips. It was a mistake. Mistake. Ah! Ah! Ah!
I opened one just fine.
Did you shake this one?
Yep.
You handed it to me, you bastard.
What are friends for?
What are friends for? Well, at least it didn't get on any of the expensive equipment. Just my crotch. Oh, wait.
Wait.
That's probably the most expensive equipment I have if you think of my children.
Yeah, right.
God damn it. Why didn't you ruin it? No, I'm just kidding. I love my kids.
We could have played Rochambeau.
Oh, my God. No. No. That tournament was super fun. Thanks for sharing that. No problem, Edwin. I try to do tournaments. I guarantee you we're going to be doing tournaments of Mario Tennis when it comes out. Smash Bros. When it comes out. Heck, if NBA 2K19 would ever support the idea of doing tournaments, I would do tournaments in NBA 2K19 with you guys. It doesn't mean that we need it to support tournaments because it supports online play with friends, so we can set up our own tournament. But what?
An online season with the
Ooh.
Prime.
Oh, that. I like that. Guys, if we get Madden and NBA 2K19 this year, how would you guys feel like if we did an online season with the community on Switch? Wouldn't that be
I call
sick?
Jaguars.
Wouldn't that be sick? Calling the Jaguars right now. Right now, really? I guess I call Browns. They just built I think they're building a hell of a roster now. So, anyways. You want harvest cheddar? I wish these were the cheddar ones. These are just the original whole grain. No, the healthiest ones for you. Let me see here. You should say that at the end of every video. Oh, talk about my live streams at the end of every video. Yeah, I've actually been thinking about, because I've been using that same outro music for a while. Doesn't mean I'm getting rid of that outro music. I love it, but I feel like I could do a better job in the outros of advertising the rest of the channel and things we have going on, and making a general live stream advertisement. Even kicking off a video by saying, hey, if you like what we do, be sure to check out our live streams every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at these times. And on screen, it can explain the difference between those streams. So I don't have to go into deep detail about it. They can just see it in the video form. There's been different ways I've thought about advertising the channel a bit more of what we do with the channel. So, because we do a lot of stuff. I'm trying to be honest with the community posts. Like, why didn't we have a video today? I was extremely busy with my children. But, it makes me mad that I didn't get a video up today. I'm very mad because it was a Prime News. I might have to double up tomorrow and get a Prime News and a bunch of individual videos out. Oh my God, 5 videos in one day? People are going to feel like I'm spamming. Plus I got to record a podcast tomorrow. It's going to be insane. Jessica Caldera was hyped for Crazy Justice. I hear you on that. B Vegas says, how's it going, fellas? Anyone play Bleed 2? I've been snatching up all the indies on sale. I have not played Bleed 2. Is it good? I'm vaguely aware of it. Ryan Weaver says, I'm super excited for Mario Tennis. I've never played any, but I do love Super Smash. Of course. I want a good Mario football game. I think that'd be dope. Soccer, yes. American football, no. Dude, American football, hell yeah.
Actually, you know what?
Dude, an American football Mario game,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
You guys already got yours Mario Soccers. Get out of
Okay,
here.
Mario Strikers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, actually, a series that I'd like to see.
Revived his backyard.
Backyard football.
Yeah, backyard football, backyard baseball, backyard. Just
Whenever you
backyard
talk about
series.
revivals, I just think Snow Kids. Just more Snow
Right.
Kids. You give me Snow Kids, I don't care what happens.
Still more kids.
Yeah, Snow Kids.
Still more kids.
I mean, they can advance them. They can be Snow Ski Kids. I don't care.
Yeah,
It's all fun.
Yeah. X Game kids. Wait. Winter X Game kids.
Oh my God.
Yeah. No.
Bobsled Kids.
Bobs. Yes.
Yeah, and they have to get the people from the Jamaica bobsled team.
Yes. Yes.
Let me see here. Watching your videos makes my day. No such thing as spam. Yeah, I mentioned that I didn't get a video out today, so tomorrow you might end up with like 5. You might get a Prime News episode and then like 5 other videos, and like I'm like I don't want to spam you guys, but it might happen.
What? American football.
Mario basketball versus Space Jam. Sorry, Space Jam.
Interesting.
Unless we're talking about a game called Mario Basketball versus Space Jam, but we're talking about comparing the two.
Yes.
Space Jam. Sorry. Space Jam's amazing. American football is trash.
Yeah, sure.
Disagree. But you know what? You're free to like the sports you like or dislike the sports you dislike. What if I told you I didn't like... I don't like watching football. I like playing it. I don't like watching it. Doesn't mean I think the sport is trash. I have respect for all sports, man.
I was watching a weird ass
Mhm.
sport the other day.
We need more Pete Wheeler in our lives
Yes,
with
we do.
backyard
We do.
sports.
I know. I saw that. I was like, yes, we do. yeah, no. The
Smash
American-
vs. Power Stone.
I
What's the
think we should
Power Stone? Am I supposed to know what the Power Stone is? Or I feel
No.
lost.
No.
I feel lost in confusion. Pokemon reference, come on.
Yeah.
That's right.
Mhm.
I used to love Pokemon, man. There was a time in my life that Pokemon. It's so
It hurt
so
itself in
weird.
confusion.
Oh
wait,
it's
that's
so it's so weird here because, like the way I talk about Pokemon today, because there was a period in my life when Pokemon was the most
for
important
sure,
video
right.
game in my life. There was nothing that was a bigger deal to me than Pokemon. Played it nonstop all the time. Everything about it, from the anime, and I feel like I've talked about this before. Like that, I think is what clicked with me. Is I was so into it from the anime to the games to the trading card game. Like everything just connected so well for me. And I feel like it doesn't really matter if you call me a Gem Wonder or not. To me, it's about that connection I felt, and I haven't felt that since. I realize that the TV show follows the games, or the games follow the TV show sometimes. But like, I don't want follow. I want all of it to feel interconnected. And I know it feels weird because like Ash, Red, Blue, like I get it, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Just my thing. And they weren't ever going to call the lead character of the Pokemon series Red or Blue for like the animated series. Like that was never going to be a
No.
thing.
No.
Let me tell you, I renamed my character in Pokemon Blue, Red, and Yellow several times to Ash because, to me, that is the main character in those games.
Yes.
I've never gotten into Pokemon. How are the games for the Switch? There's only one Pokemon game that I know of on Switch, and that's Pokken Tournament. So if you like fighting games and you like Pokemon, I mean, it's probably interesting. Of course, Space Jam would win. They got his airness. That's not why. That's not why.
They got bugs.
They got
They
bugs.
got the arm stretchies.
They got Bugs Bunny. They only need bugs. And they got Tweety Bird. I mean, come on. Come on. Get out of here. Plus, like, when you talk Space Jam on the whole, they technically also have the Monstars.
Yes.
So you have the Monstars, plus Bugs, plus, Michael Jordan. Like, it's over. Come on
Yep.
now.
Nope. Never played it.
for Dreamcast, remember? I didn't play any Dreamcast games.
Yep.
Fun fact.
Yep.
I mean, I shouldn't say I played Crazy Taxi before, but I didn't play it on Dreamcast. I played Skies of...
I played it on Dreamcast at stores.
Yeah, that was one of the most played demos at stores for Dreamcast. And then the only other Dreamcast game I remember playing is Skies of Arcadia, and I played that on GameCube. So, I don't get the reference. Dreamcast guy would, the YouTuber Dreamcast guy, he'd probably get the reference. Let me see here. I don't know Power Stone, I'm sorry.
Yep.
I don't know everything, guys. Believe it or not, I'm not a know-it-all. You might think I'm a know-it-all because maybe...
You act like a know-it-all.
No, maybe the things that I do know, I'm very confident about. But there's plenty I don't know. I don't know what the fuck a Power Stone is. Is it like...
Nice.
Is it like the stones in the Marvel series?
Yeah. Those stones? Oh,
Yeah.
by the way, I saw it.
So what? I don't know what
Infinity
you're
War?
talking about. What?
Infinity War?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I saw Avengers, no.
Thoughts?
Yeah.
I mean, no spoiler-free thoughts?
Oh, yeah. no, spoilers for thoughts. That was awesome.
Ew.
It was good.
It's my favorite Avengers movie, so
Yeah.
just so you know.
Yeah.
Like, many reasons why, but
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's so good. I can't wait for it to come out with bonus scenes or something. All right. Anyways, what game are we gonna play tonight? The game of Ask Me Anything.
Why the women's underwear?
Why the woman's underwear? Have you tried it? If you tried it, you'd know.
Oh, I know. We've
Oh,
been
I
through
know.
this many times.
Oh, I know.
With
Um,
ball.
Pokemon in 90s of life. Hey, Nintendo Talk, welcome. He says, what up, Nate and Eric?
Yeah.
High five, my man.
And then Jack left.
Jack had to
Sorry.
leave.
If you aren't gone,
Gotta head
I'll
out,
see you
man.
later.
Peace out. Ryan Weaver, I just scored Monster Supercross for the Switch at Toys R Us for $35. Well, Toys R Us is going out of business, so they're doing a lot of fire sales.
Yeah.
But congrats,
still,
man.
but
It's a
still.
good deal.
Yeah.
It's a good deal.
$20 off. Not terrible. Roughly. 25. Can't do math.
Nintendo Talks watch? Yeah. He pops in our streams once in a while. So let's see. I'd mentioned before that I wanted to go through some news with Eric because now that we don't talk about news a lot on our podcast, well, we talked a hell of a lot of it during E3, but we don't talk it on the podcast as much. So I feel like it might be a good time to... Plus, I don't even know all the news from today because I've been missing in action all day. Besides the Pokemon news that Nintendo purchased the domains. Some new hint art for Odyssey has been released.
Interesting.
Sure.
Okay, why not?
I've never really been into the hint art. Like, I understand there's people really into Odyssey that are into that, but... a Switch patch is coming out for Fractured Butthole. Does it say what it's fixing? Ooh. Resolved an infinite loading screen that might
that's
occur
fun.
entering the D-Mobile building. I haven't gotten to the D-Mobile
That's
building
fun.
yet, so... Fix an issue that caused some players' save files to be reset. That's
Oh.
a pretty big issue.
Yeah, it is.
Fixed possible freeze if the player starts the Danger Deck DLC.
Oh, all right.
Fixed a freeze that may occur. So a lot of freezes and destroying of save files.
And resolving other minor bugs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, those are all pretty major. Okay, that's a
Right,
good
right.
patch. I'm gonna have to get that.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to
Well-
get that now before I keep playing.
It's
It's been submitted. I know, so I need to. But it
feels
feels like I need to get it installed before I keep playing because I don't
Right,
want to
right,
experience any
right.
of that. The cover. Ooh, the cover is out for the Creating a Champion art book cover.
Ooh, that's cool. That's actually really neat.
Ooh, I gotta
Flip
show.
it over.
Hold on, I gotta
Yep.
see how to
Flip
show
this
you
over.
guys this. Let me get this over here. F11, that bad boy. Get up. Where are you, Streamlabs OBS? Well, you know what? We haven't been checking Twitch chat, and
Oh.
there's nothing. So
Huh.
no one, 0 people watching.
Hi, Twitch.
Hi, Twitch. Nice to see you, Twitch. Goodbye. All right. By the way, we are on Twitch, by the way, at twitch.tv / Nintendo Prime TV. I will say what's really cool about it, if you've ever wanted to support us but you don't really have the money, if you happen to be an Amazon Prime member, you can actually sub to us on there, and we get like $2.50 per month from your sub for just being part of Amazon Prime and deciding you wanted to support us over there, which is kind of a really cool thing. I always bring that up because there's a lot of people that are Amazon Prime members that don't realize that they can literally support us for no additional cost if they would like to. of course, you might be already supporting someone on Twitch that you'd rather have your money go to. All right, let's see here. How to make this work? I have to go to studio mode, editor. I gotta make sure this is
Whoa.
set up right.
Whoa.
I know.
This is
Right.
trippy as hell.
Right. All right. So this is what we're talking about here. This is the new cover art for the Creating a Champion Breath of the Wild. Very, very interesting. It's a new. I like that it's like a newer art.
I like it.
They're
I
still
like it a
making
lot.
new art.
I
It
like
is
it a
crazy, and
lot.
they're all in a battle pose. They're all.
So what
I'm
is this
assuming
for?
trying to attack
It's just a
Ganon.
book?
Okay, so this book is huge.
Yeah.
So this book features nearly 50 pages of sketches
Okay.
and official illustrations.
Oh.
From one of the artists, 296 pages of design artwork and
Oh, nice.
commentary
Oh, okay.
about that stuff,
Okay.
about the making of the game.
Right.
Now get this
Okay.
one: a 55-page historical section that divulges the history of Hyrule as it's known in game.
Oh.
55 pages of history
All right. When
of
does this
bro,
come out?
like this already made a must buy. This is like Hyrule Story level. I need to own this now.
Yeah.
And it interviews with key members of the development team, including Hidemaru Fubayashi, Satoru Takizawa, Takumi Wada, Eiji Aonuma. Witness the making of a champion. The breathtaking cover is by
Nice.
Takumi Wada. So I think the cover was
I
a
like
brand
it.
new art
I
made
like
for the cover.
I like it.
So yeah,
All right, transition back.
I don't want to.
No?
I don't want to. I'm just kidding.
I mean, they probably don't want to see us either, but
Right. Let me look in the chat here. N64 Classic would be so great. Yeah, wouldn't it?
yeah.
Hey man, I would love to give my opinion on. So RX Stream Gaming
Yeah.
says, "Hey man, I'd love to give my opinion on Nintendo E3 on your platform, live. Do you think that's ever possible?" Oh man, hold on. I don't even like. I've seen you in my streams before. I'm gonna go to your YouTube channel and see what's up. Because I have one opportunity that could potentially work for you, but I need to see if you're a YouTuber to really. You got 564 subscribers, 124 videos. Are you an active YouTuber? Last video was 5 days ago. You did a stream. Okay,
Not bad, not bad.
212 views. That's pretty good.
Hey,
Nice.
looks like your website. 5 days ago, 1 week ago. Oh, wait.
Yeah, is that right? All right, yeah. There is a chance our gaming. We do a thing called Primecast on Fridays, and we bring in other YouTubers. It is required you have a webcam, and it is required you have audio, obviously. So I don't know if I can get you in this week. We'll see. But basically, DM me on Twitter is the best way to do it, or email me Nathan@NintendoPrime.net, and we could try to set something up for you to be on a future Primecast episode. And then you will be able to give some opinion on Nintendo's E3 when we get to a topic that pertains to E3, because it's a news podcast, but it's one where obviously right now the hot news is E3 related. So almost every single week we're going to have E3 related news, and you'll be able to give some opinions. All right. What's going on? After Pokemon Gold and Pokemon Silver, no Pokemon follow the trainers. Jeez, that's sad.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't.
I'm gonna check out their content sometimes. I said, "Hey, Nintendo Prime, did I get your Discord message? I haven't checked Discord since I'm streaming, so no." Oh, yeah, dude. Wait, no, that wouldn't have been.
That's from before.
Hold on. Oh yeah, yep. I haven't responded to that yet. I will get back to you on that soon. I know the stream is next week, so I will get back to you on that. If not tonight, ping me on Discord again tomorrow, and I will respond just to remind me. And Gamer Guy Wannabe, I did see your private DM. I to let you know, I'm not going to go into it because it's a personal thing, but I did recognize that in the moment.
Yes.
Just so you're aware.
Yes.
Anyways. Wish me good luck. I'm going to be fasting tomorrow.
Oh,
Good
well, there
luck,
you go.
man.
Good luck. Yeah.
Pokemon follow the trainer in a certain part of Diamond and Pearl. A certain part, but it should be the whole game.
See you, Ryan.
Let's see here.
Out.
Went to some news, Ryan. See you later, my boy. My boy. You're my boy, Blue.
Oh, wait. I just saw Deadpool. When does that come out again?
This week. And? This week. And? Platinum Games says Bayonetta 3 for Nintendo Switch is progressing steadily.
Oh, nice.
It's progressing steadily. It's difficult to say, but it's continuing. Or they're asking them how far in development they are. They didn't really give. This time around, the development process is different. What's so different? There's not much we could say at all, but there's a lot of surprises left in store for the game.
It's different. Can't really tell you how it's different, but it's different.
Yeah.
Believe us.
Harry Tran.
Yeah.
Here's $1 million question. When's the Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee releasing? November.
I have to. Oh man.
November.
Now I have to go watch Dr. Tran.
What? Oh, I thought for a second it said Super Mario RPG, not Super Neptunia RPG.
Yeah.
Sorry,
That'd be
not to insult Neptunia, but I'm just like, wait, are we getting Thousand Year Door
That'd be
on
sweet.
Switch in HD? Kami HD is coming on August 9th. Good to finally have that dated. It looks like. The E3 reservation thing is just very interesting and different. We briefly talked about before when people asked us about playing Smash at E3. All right, their news is actually a little bit behind.
Right.
Yeah, that's actually one of the. That's why I check out several different news outlets.
Yeah.
Because they all cover different things.
Mhm.
There's not even like Nintendo Everything. I love that guy. I literally know the owner. I used to work for him. It's one of those things where even though it's Nintendo Everything, it technically doesn't cover everything. It tries. I mean, it's mostly a one man show. He's got a little bit of help now, but they didn't follow you in Gen 2. They followed you in the Gen 4 remakes of Gen 2, Heart Gold and Heart Silver. Dude, I don't remember.
I thought they did. Okay. I mean, I could be wrong.
Yeah, the thing is,
I could.
relying on my memory,
Yeah.
I don't have the games on me. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
I remember there being another game that did it, but I'm pretty sure it was Silver and Gold. Maybe I'm wrong. Beats me. Our Extreme Gaming asked us to talk about the Pokemon. How do we feel about the Pokemon leaks? Kind of iffy about it, if the rumors are true. We already talked about it before, so all I can say is, I hate saying this because it makes you feel like you're only going to know the answer if you do this, but I mean, you could also back up in the stream and like we spent like the first half hour talking about it.
Yeah, actually, kind of.
So I don't want to talk about it again. I don't want to retread that ground. If you don't want to go back in the stream because you're trying to watch us live, the best way to catch the stream after the fact, unfortunately, is behind a paywall. For $1 a month on patreon.com/Nintendo Prime. We do it because I don't like my streams cluttering up the channel, but I still think our patrons should get it. And Nintendo Talks up in here with Team Eevee.
There you go.
Team Eevee. I don't know which one I'm going to go with. If it's Eevee, I need to see more.
Yeah.
Once we see the games, I'll figure out, do I really want to go Eevee, who's got more evolutions past, or do I want to go Pikachu, who to me has always been like, that's Ash's Pokemon. Gotta go. But wait, who's Eevee? Eevee can be Nate's Pokemon.
Nah.
Yeah, boy. Vaporeon, here we go.
Heck yeah.
Love Vaporeon.
Yeah.
So it came first from Diamond and Pearl. Okay.
Huh.
I don't like it's so fuzzy. I couldn't tell you. Just other people in the chat were telling us that it was
Oh,
that,
yeah.
so I just said
Okay.
now we have other people telling us other things.
Sure.
I
I don't know.
I'm completely see Fire Soul. I understand. He said he's completely skipping Pokemon Switch. If the rumors are true, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine. I hate that's how you feel though before you've even seen the game.
Yeah.
I don't think you should judge a book before you've even seen the cover.
I guess rehashing.
Like forget like the judging a book by its cover. We haven't even seen the cover.
Yep.
And you're judging. Like let's at least see what it looks like before we start being like, yeah, we're done. Like because the Pokemon leaks didn't really tell us a whole lot. They really have. I mean, I know the names of the game are a big deal for people, but like we really don't know much about anything with this game. Besides what? I mean, I guess I know you've spoken at length, I think, in the past that you're tired of Kanto, but okay. I mean, I'm tired of Hyrule, but I still don't like have Hyrule in a Zelda game doesn't make me not want to play a Zelda game. But again, it's all about why do you play? What about Pokemon makes you play Pokemon? what about Zelda makes me play Zelda? You know, I guess you have to ask yourself that question and figure it out for yourself. Only Yellow, Heart Gold, and Soul Silver are the only games that have Pokemon following you. See, look at this. Now, there's so many conflicting information here. Team Chew for me and Yellow was my first Pokemon game. Rigo Ramirez is kind of sad that Rage 2 is not announced for Switch come Bethesda. I think Rage 2's been in development for a while, and it was just one of those games that the original Rage didn't really do that well, so they're not really betting on Rage 2 doing extremely well. Just, you know, good enough. So we'll see. It could always get a late port. So far, all of Bethesda's games have been late ports, so. Pre-orders are now 40% off. Is this Amazon? Oh, hell yeah. $23.99? Oh, hell yeah. I'm going to get that pre-order in tonight. I need that Creating the Champion book. Coming for HD is going to have a physical release
Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum.
in Japan. And only in Japan. That's kind of sad. What are you looking up? Are you looking up?
Walking Pokemon.
Okay.
So yellow.
Yellow.
Yeah. Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. Heart Gold, Soul Silver.
So 5 games?
Yeah.
5 games.
Black 2 and White 2.
Black 2, White 2.
There you
See?
go.
Ain't well. Dang it. Did Julia wake him up? Is Julia home? I don't even know if Julia's home.
I couldn't tell you either. But
You want to go up and check if Julia's home and making that noise? I mean, we're going to be done here soon anyways,
Yeah.
but... The only thing I fear is those Pokemon titles. They sound super casual to me.
Yeah, right. No, that was my one problem.
I mean... Like, I think about the names of the Pokemon games. And I know, like, Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue, Pokemon Yellow aren't exactly, like, the most original things ever. But it's like... They've always kind of sounded that way. Like, Pokemon Black and Pokemon White. Like, that's one of the most generalized, opposition things ever. Diamond and Pearl. Like, I don't give a shit about freaking diamonds and pearls. Like, I think Pokemon from day one has always suffered from, in my opinion, terrible naming conventions. Like, let's go Pikachu, let's go Eevee. I understand it's different from the norm, but I gotta say I never really enjoyed the norm. Even when I loved Pokemon, I still wasn't like, yeah, I love the names of the Pokemon games. Like, I just love the games. So, like, I guess I don't really care about the titles. I don't think we can read too much from the titles. The fact that it keeps saying it's a core RPG tells me that it's not super casual. Is she taking care of Ollie?
I don't know.
All right. Well, I think that might wrap it up. I just want to glance at some news here quick. Oh, this was huge for me. Nintendo's E3 presentation might have a final name. It is being called... Nintendo has updated its E3 website today, and now it includes the following title for the presentation. Nintendo Direct E3 2018. So they're calling it a Nintendo Direct. Okay. It states specifically 3 days of the Nintendo Switch gameplay with Treehouse and members of developers starting right after Nintendo Direct E3 2018 with Super Smash Bros. So we also know the first game that Treehouse is going to play right after the Direct is Super Smash Bros. The way we say seems is because the actual video presentation section of the site still says TBA for the game. So, okay, yeah. So it might not be final. Nintendo Direct E3 2018 might not be the final name. It's interesting, isn't it? The history of the names. It was Nintendo Direct at E3 2013, then the Nintendo Digital Event E3 2014, Nintendo Digital Event at E3 2015, Nintendo Spotlight E3 2017. What was it called in 2016? He skipped over 2016 in here. Oh, Nintendo did not have a presentation at E3 2016. Instead, it chose to focus primarily on Zelda. It had a presentation. That's bullshit. There was a presentation. It was just on Zelda, but they still had a presentation.
Yes, they did.
And we were there. We saw it.
And everybody was like, "Oh my God, Breath!
Yeah. And we saw it. There was a
Breath of the
presentation.
Wind! Breath
Breath of the Wild
There
is
was a
so
presentation.
amazing. Oh wait.
I don't know what they called it, but there was a presentation before the Treehouse Live stuff. So that's bullshit there. There was a presentation. Sorry, Brian, I love you, man, but we were there watching the presentation. Yeah, like, there was a presentation. Anyways, I'm just throwing it out
It's
there.
probably the source that he got it from.
Anyways, our extreme said, and handling this Labo thing all wrong if they really want to move lots of Nintendo Labo units. Should really make a Labo camera with that Joy-Con camera and the gyro aiming with Pokemon Snap. I don't know, like Pokemon Snap. I don't know why so many I want to do Pokemon Snap, but why so many people think that Pokemon Snap would be a savior for certain things. Like Labo would become amazing if it had that functionality. I agree, but I don't think that's gonna move more Labo units. The key thing to move Labo units is to get into the education sector, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with creating more gimmicky ways to use Labo. Like, they're going to keep doing it because that's what Labo is. It's about creating these gimmicky, fun things. That's what that piano up there is about. That it got torn apart and I had to put back together. But thankfully, yeah, because my kids got it in my office. But thankfully, it wasn't that hard to put it back together because I remembered. I remembered. Yes, all the keys still work. I know. I tested it. Still plays. Be righteous. What? What
Be righteous up in here?
I have no idea. Be righteous 80. Oh, there's an $80 donation.
What?
Holy shit!
Wait, what? Oh,
Holy! How did I miss that? Because I don't have my volume on.
yeah.
Holy shit! Be righteous.
Okay. Hi.
2 minutes
Go
ago,
again.
donated $80. Victory!
Thank you.
Victory shall be mine. Thanks so much, Be Righteous, for your
Wow.
$80 donation. That is amazing, as always. Well, not as always, but you seem to always,
Yeah.
you seem to always be dropping the big donos.
Um,
That's $80. I got an escalating shot, so hold
Yeah.
on. That
Yeah.
is just below gold.
Well.
You couldn't hit the extra 20 for the start at Goldschlager and work my way down?
Shit.
Are you trying to save me? I'm just kidding. All right, here we go.
I was gonna say.
We got to go in order. Escalating shots going down. Holy crud. There we go. So we got to start with the top one, which is Jacko Blast. I got to hit up the Jacko Blast and the Watermelon Smash. I have to get iced. No.
Why do you think I'm cleaning out in front of the freaking?
No, I have to get iced. Oh, why did I change it to get iced? It's okay. It's first, I've had it as get iced for like 4 straight streams. The first time I've had to do it. So.
Sorry. I've been here once when you've had.
No. 4 streams in a row since I started
Oh.
doing that. I'm not saying I've never gotten ice in a stream.
No.
I've gotten ice like 3 times in a stream.
Oh.
Oh, it's ice cold. This makes it hard. I wish it was warm. It's so much easier to get ice warm, which is the whole point. It's got to be a smeared up ice, and it has to be ice cold. And it can be any flavor. Usually you do it with the original because the original is the hardest one to get down.
Mhm.
But all right, here we go. Be righteous, making me earn it tonight. Here we go. Jackal Blast.
No, I won't do it.
Won't do what?
I was gonna ice with you. But
It's up to you. I don't think we've ever had a chug off
I
before.
don't wanna waste your ice.
Waste? It's not a waste. I've never been in a chug off with you on anything because you don't drink like beverages that you chug. Like beer. You drink like good mixed drinks that you shouldn't be chugging.
Yeah.
Tasty
but I do
ones.
anyways.
Tasty ones. I eat sometimes. But we've never actually been on a chug off because I don't think we've ever played a drinking game together that involved this chugging.
Yeah, probably not.
Waterfall is probably like one of the biggest ones that really gets you chugging, and
Steve.
I don't know if I've ever played. No, Steve doesn't even get you chugging. You just have to drink
I
that.
know.
Disgusting. That's disgusting.
I
You don't
never
have to
played it
chug it.
anyways,
You just
but
have to drink it.
I never
Did
played
you have
it
to
either.
finish it? I can't remember. I think you had to finish it
Yeah, I don't remember.
because like if you just have to taste it, it's whatever. You have to finish it.
Yeah.
That's
Finish your one shot, damn it.
oh yeah.
Where are we at?
It's
Oh,
good,
yeah, you have to get through kinky first too.
No, Kinky's
ice
below
after?
get ice.
Okay.
Shot
So
glasses, dude.
watermelon.
I honestly think you know what's a killer marketing thing because I do so many shots.
Yeah.
Why don't I sell Nintendo Prime shot glasses?
I don't know.
I need to find a shot glass provider because
Yeah, no, we can talk later.
what?
so.
You have a shot glass provider?
But we can talk later.
I'm intrigued. All right, let me not avoid this watermelon smash.
Yes.
So, see, this is such a tease. It smells like the most amazing
right.
alcohol
You're
ever,
right.
but then it just kind of.
The aftertaste.
Yeah, the aftertaste isn't that great.
Yeah. It's like if you could get the smell of that with the aftertaste of the pumpkin. All right.
We're about to get iced. After I just did all that, and I have to pee. Alright, since Eric's doing it with me, I guess I'll sit here. I won't go down on my knee like usual. Because that's technically how you get ice, to go down on one knee. But I got to adjust things, and there's too much crap in here now. Alright, here we go. The things I do. Don't worry, we're still going to leave the escalator in, because this is the first time it's escalated this high. It's only ever been highest before this was kinky than a beer. So this is a big step up from that. And I still have to do kinky than a beer.
Yeah.
Oh man, I have to pee.
Kinky
Can
than
I pee?
Wait,
Do we have a
Smirnoff
piss bucket in here?
Smirnoff shot. Oh, you do have one shot left in that Smirnoff over there.
There's probably yeah. So I don't have to crack a new one for that.
Yeah.
Do I even have any more in there?
Yeah, I think you have like 2 or 3 left.
Oh, and you're like, I don't want to go through. Like, dude, I can buy some more. It's like $5.
2 left.
I think. Oh, I think I paid like 7 for these because I got ripped off. Anyways,
All right. Let me know.
all right, we gotta get iced. Oh, I just had to pee.
Cool.
But I'm trying to hold because when I go upstairs I'll be done.
Try not to break the seal.
Break the seal. I'll break the seal. The stream's over.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
I would have had you, but I had a backsplash of the cold go up and hit my gums, and it made my teeth hurt, and I had to pull down. I'm like, fuck. And I was waiting. I'm like, please pull down for a half second, because then I'm fine. Because I was ahead of you.
Yeah.
God damn it. Well, you beat me, but we both got iced.
Yeah.
Oh,
God, I love screwdrivers.
oh, dude, screwdrivers are delicious. That's the thing. It's the one that you get iced and you don't really regret it because it's so tasty. I mean,
Right.
the fact that you went through it so fast, maybe, but.
Yes.
All right, kinky.
Kinky.
Breaking the seal. Yep. If you are someone who's been on drinking before, you know breaking the seal is a big deal because once it happens, you're just constantly going to the bathroom when you're drinking.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you should ever hold going to the bathroom as long as I'm holding right now. It's actually unhealthy for you.
Oh God.
Once it starts hurting, you
I had
held
to-
it way too long.
I had to pee for like the last hour and a half of the Avengers movie, and it was not cool. Man.
Oh, well, it's so long too.
I
So
know.
like,
Right.
you
That was-
finish that soda and you're just like,
I
okay, I'm
wish-
fine.
I wish they would put a pee break in it. My God, anything over 2
An
hours.
intermission.
Anything over.
Do you-
Titanic had one.
Yeah, that's the only time I ever remember an intermission. Titanic's not even the longest movie I've seen. This movie's longer, I think,
Yeah.
than that.
Oh yeah, I think so.
In
I'm pretty
theater.
sure, yeah.
So
Anything over like 2.5 hours should have like an intermission.
oh, here we go. Here is the kinky. Well, look, we stuck around. Oh my God.
What?
Be righteous,
I know,
my
right?
man, my boy.
Right.
Here we go. This one's also for you. I'm a real boy. All right, and then what feels like really feels like a pushy shot because I don't want to crack a new one for that.
Yeah.
Now, then again, we get more super chats. I guess I don't have a choice. So who's gonna be that person to give the $1 that's gonna make me crack a new bottle? Don't. All right, here we go. For once, I said don't give me money.
So, I guess that means we end the stream meow, because...
Well, I mean, if you escalate up the scale again, then I can be like, okay, I'll pour my one shot out of it, and then I'll ice the rest.
Yeah.
But, oh man, I'll read the chat. After all of that, I gotta see what's going on.
Go.
Thank you, Be Righteous, so much for your support as always.
Yes.
He wants Thunder. He's talking about Thunder. I thought he was talking about Thunder Shook. Like he wanted the song, and he's talking about Thundershock.
Thunderstruck?
Yeah, Thunderstruck.
Thunderstruck.
Numbered Nintendo Prime shot glasses.
Again?
Yeah, I do need to make that a reality. Breaking the seal. Eric is a fucking champ. He beat me. Straight up, he beat me. I had him until that splashback, and the splashback was totally my fault because I gave that little extra tip, hoping to get more down the chute quicker because I knew he was doing good over there, and I'm like, oh, I should have just started. I know better. Pace myself. And what I should have did is got in his face. Because when I get in people's face when they're chugging, I don't back down, and I would have finished it. It might have not felt so great, but I would have did it.
I probably wouldn't have even noticed.
No, you wouldn't have. No, you would have, because I would have been, like, up. Like, you don't understand. When I care about winning a chugging contest, I get in your face.
Yeah.
Last person I did that to was Jason, and he threw up. So,
Well,
granted, he was chugging Guinness,
I was gonna say,
and he
to
ate
be
spicy,
fair-
spicy
to be
Doritos.
fair,
He was in the
It was-
worst
yeah.
possible situation you could be in.
Yeah.
It was bad. All good. Oh yeah, be righteous with the shot, with the official Nintendo Prime. Is it animated right now? No, I don't think that one's animated right now. He's working on an animation for it to make it an animated where the bomb actually goes up and actually does the shot, which is gonna be sick when that happens.
Nice. Are you gonna get the? You gotta at least get one emote in for me.
Cold sensitivity. Yeah, I do have cold sensitivity with my teeth, and I can usually fight through it for a chugging, but when it splashes up to my gums, it hurts. But that's the whole point of getting iced. That's what makes it, difficult. Is that it's a drink specifically built for cold sensitivity people who can't handle it. They can't just remove something like that from the game, though. State of Decay 2 or Mario plus Rabbids decisions. Well, for me, it's Mario plus Rabbids easy, but Mario plus Rabbids to me is also the best Switch exclusive. I don't know how long it's going to stay the best Switch exclusive. For me, personally. I know a lot of people think Odyssey is maybe the best. Splatoon 2 is maybe the best. Maybe even ARMS is the best. Or Fire Emblem Warriors. Xenoblade Chronicles 2. There's a lot of really good games. Like, I don't blame it. Maybe it's still a lot. Well, it's less isn't exclusive. Maybe it's Golf Story. There's a lot of options. That's all I can say. Both. I do feel like Be Righteous took it easy on me, though. By not making me go up to the Goldschlager level. Because, oh, God. I'm waiting. There's, like, 2 shots left in this Goldschlager. I'm waiting for someone to make me have to do it. I fear it. I like Goldschlager, and I fear it. 43% alcohol. Highest alcohol content drink I've had or booze at all I've had in my house in a long time. And I haven't done one after having this many shots in a long time. The only reason it's this low is because I was doing some crossover content with OJ. So I was taking some Goldschlager shots for courage. I needed that liquid courage. We're past the point of liquid courage, let me tell you. Well, I'll tell you what, though, for that $80, I'm starting to feel a little buzzed over here.
I'm good.
Of course you're good. You just started, motherfucker. You don't have to do all those shots in a row like I just did. I just did how many shots?
I know.
1,
I
2,
know. That was the point.
3. I did 4 shots in a row. 3 of them with high alcohol content, and I got iced.
That's the point.
It would have been super high if you would have hit. Oh man, don't do it, Be Righteous. Or anyone, don't. That's okay. You can do it. You know what? No, I should. I'm telling people, don't donate $100.
Yeah, right?
No,
Yeah.
you can. It's fine.
Oh, what are we retracting?
I also appreciate donations as well because technically there's less fees taken out of donations compared to super chats, but
What are we
that's
redacting?
just a thing.
Is it fun?
What?
What are we redacting?
I don't know what's being redacted.
Oh, dang.
I unsubbed from a bunch of E3 spoiler channels, which includes me. I'm not hating. If you don't see me for a while, this is why.
Yeah.
No, I understand. You're going on what's called an E3 blackout, right?
Yeah.
People do that. I have never done it personally because I find it really easy to ignore channels that are talking about things I don't want to hear about. But a lot of people have a hard time like getting past the headlines or getting past the thumbnails without being spoiled. So I totally get it. Like if you're on an E3 blackout, absolutely.
No,
I get what you're doing.
Understandable.
We'll see you back after E3.
Hopefully.
Because there won't be. Hopefully you come back after E3. If you don't, well, it was nice having you while we did.
Mhm.
But yeah, if you come back after E3, there basically isn't anything to worry about until E3 again. So you have a whole year before you need to worry about the spoilers again. Not that there aren't rumors and stuff that happen throughout the year, but they always culminate at E3 time.
Yeah. No.
My loss
yeah,
for 20 days.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Well, he still might turn in the live streams.
Yeah.
I mean, he's here to live stream right now, and he's not subbed. So it's like, and he came in at a time when we were done talking about the leaks and rumors, So he actually got kind of lucky because some of that
Yeah.
stuff was. I even mentioned briefly the Retro Studios one. I'm not going to mention it now because maybe he doesn't know about it. But yeah, we briefly mentioned a bunch of that stuff, and we talked in depth about Pokemon at the beginning.
Mm-hmm. And briefly touched on it again.
And again and again,
And
people
again,
keep
and
asking it
again,
because they
and
come in
again.
at different
Yes,
times.
yes, yes. Which is fine. But
You're a little more strict for E3 after Christmas.
oh yeah, okay.
E3's
Hey.
always been like my video game Christmas, but if you guys watch my video on why I don't care about rumors and leaks for E3, you'll understand why I actually never viewed E3 the way that you guys do. It's all about how you wrap your mind around E3. E3 to me has never been about the surprise announcements, although surprise announcements are always neat. The surprise announcements are relevant if the game looks like shit. E3 to me has always been about seeing games for the first time.
Mhm.
Not necessarily having them announced. It's seeing them. Seeing is believing. So no matter what rumors and leaks come out, I need to see shit. Till I see it, none of it matters. So, like these Pokemon leaks, everyone talking about whether or not they're good, whether or not they're bad. Nothing matters until you see the game. So that's why I hate when people write off the game. And I hate when people maybe act like it's the second coming of Jesus Christ, for crying out loud. None of it matters until you see the game.
Mm-hmm.
Literally nothing matters till you see the game.
No.
If you see the
even
game and
then.
then you decide it's not for you,
And even
or you
then.
decide it is Christ,
Even then.
Christ reborn, even then, you should maybe wait till you play it. But then again, you have to decide if it's
Right.
worth playing. Maybe
Right.
wait for the review cycle.
Right.
I have a question though for you guys. I have a few questions because now that you guys have me, now that B Righteous put me at the point that I'm feeling great.
We're
Let's-
actually
let's be
gonna
honest.
extend this, okay?
Well, of course, I mean you can leave anytime you want. You are an adult. You
I
make
am.
your own adult decisions.
No, I'm not.
I mean, I have a couch that
I'm
you're
not a-
always
I'm
welcome
not
to
an
sleep
adult.
on. It's just showing up and working the same clothes. Although I have clothes that fit you, so
Yeah, I
that's
know. I'm not an
that's
adult.
neither here nor there. But
I'm not 40 yet.
no, you're not
Sorry,
a
I'm
man.
Sorry, I'm an adult. You're
That's
right.
not about being
That's
an
right.
adult. It's about
That's
being a
right.
man.
I'm sorry, I'm not a man.
Mm,
yet. My
mm,
bad.
Gotta
my,
call you
my
on
bad.
that.
My bad.
Oh, by the way, guys, if I'm still doing YouTube when I'm 40, you best believe on my birthday I'm gonna be shouting that the entire time. I've been waiting my whole life to make that reference to that interview. I don't even remember who the guy was who said it. It doesn't matter. I'm a man.
I know it was
I'm
a coach.
40. And my kids are gonna be old enough now, like teenagers, and they're gonna, I'm like, I don't even care.
Yeah.
I'm gonna embarrass myself,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm not gonna give a crap. You only come to YouTube for streams until after E3. And then we're sure
Oh,
E3 recommended
yeah.
video.
Yes.
It's why I showed up today. Oh, it was recommended. Well, yeah, it's recommended because you've seen, you've watched enough of my videos that it recommends them to you. Once you stop viewing the videos for a while, it'll stop recommending them to you. There's YouTubers that used to show up for me recommended. I stopped watching their videos. After like a week, they vanished from recommended.
Magically, they vanish.
So that's why I said it's possible you might never get back into me because maybe you never get sucked back in because my videos never get re-recommended to you, so you just forget about me. You might lose you forever, man. I hope not. Even though you made a video trying to call me out.
It's not. Nintendo Talk, it's not necessarily impossible to. I could just go to sports websites and be done and call it good.
Yeah, here's the thing. Like Nintendo Talk, it talks about it's impossible to avoid. Oh, it's not, man.
It's
Let me give you an
it's
example.
hard,
Let me give you an example. I don't even think it's hard. You know, if you don't want any Nintendo spoilers, it's pretty simple. Stop paying attention to video game media.
yeah. There's that mainly.
Stop like if you're subscribed and follow a bunch of video game people on YouTube, unsubscribe or don't log into Twitter, don't log into YouTube. You know what's harder for people? Just not logging into YouTube and Twitter or Facebook
Yeah.
or any social media. Avoid if there's something coming out, avoid social media.
Yeah.
You avoid social media, suddenly you avoid all of the shit.
You just
Literally.
Go to, I could just go to sports websites, which is generally what I do anyways.
As an
but
example, I avoided spoilers for so many movies, even when the movie leaked online beforehand, because I just stopped going to places that were talking about it until after I saw the movie.
No,
and that's when I cared about spoilers. I don't always care about spoilers. Now, for movies, I do care a little bit about the story spoilers, especially the ending, because usually what I like about movies is the build up to the ending and trying to figure out what that ending is going to be. So the ending of video games, those spoilers matter less to me than the ending of movies. But I also don't view video games as the same type of entertainment than movies. Because to me, you're playing the video game, so the journey matters more than the ending. Whereas a movie, you're watching the movie. So the journey matters, but if you already know the end result, you kind of see it coming before it gets there. And there's movies you still sometimes figure it out before it gets there.
Oh, I called Meet the Robinsons before.
Avengers Infinity War I did not see coming. Maybe I should have, but I didn't read the comics. And I don't know if these events happened in the comics this exact way. But
Something similar.
yeah, I know, I don't want to spoil it to people, but I know certain things happened. Like the big bad guy. I know that, like, how that went down. That happened in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't sure how they were going to do it in the cinematic universe because they had divulged a lot from what happened in the comics. So I wasn't sure how that was going to work out, but I'm still, like, confused. But then again, if you read the comics, it's confusing. So obviously the cinematic universe at some point was going to get confusing, and now I'm confused. And now we wait for Ant-Man this summer. Can't wait for more for Ant-Man. Deadpool, which might eventually get tied in someday down the road.
Maybe.
Now that one
I don't
company owns all of it now. Finally, one company owns all of it. It's technically all part of the same connected universe in the comics.
I think there's still some of them that are not owned by.
Which ones?
I think some X-Men.
No, X-Men's owned by Fox.
I think some of them are owned by Sony. I know there's some. I think there's some.
Which one?
DC
Which one
that
was
are
made
owned
by Sony?
No, I'm
DC.
I
Tom Marvel.
no, I know, but I don't remember exactly what.
Because DC is
what
a
it's
total,
all
like, it's a different company. So
DC has flopped multiple times.
no,
movies.
depends, because
In
the
making
Batman movies
Right.
have had some success.
Yes.
Some, not
Some.
all of them.
Yes.
What they're doing now,
they've-
I think
they've flopped
Suicide Squad.
multiple-
By the way, I think Suicide Squad was brilliant.
It was good. It was good.
Wonder Woman was obviously fantastic.
Wonder Woman
I don't
was
know.
fantastic.
I don't know if you guys saw Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman to
I've
me is
heard-
like, how can Wonder Woman be this good, but the rest of them just not? I haven't seen Justice League.
I've heard
Yet.
my rumors or my thoughts were confirmed that they basically rushed the fuck out of that movie.
So I haven't seen it yet. I will watch it eventually when it comes on HBO or someplace where I can watch it. I'm already subscribed to Netflix or something. I will watch it.
Showbox has it.
Showbox.
Yes.
Well, it doesn't advertise itself as illegal,
Yes.
so the app you can download on Android.
Yep.
By going to a website, not the App Store.
Yes.
Okay. Just because I know subconsciously it's probably not right,
Yes. But yes,
it exists and it has it, so I guess I'm going to probably watch it.
Yep.
Not tonight, but
it does.
some other night.
Back to the chat. Wait, we have questions.
Do we?
I thought you had questions for them.
Oh, did I? I did. There was. This is what
You are
happened.
feeling it, aren't you?
Oh, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling fantastic right now. Is what's happening. First, let me read the chat and see if I
Yes.
can get re-inspired about what I was going to talk about because it was going to be some teases, but
Yes.
I don't know how much I want to tease yet.
Well, I can tease. a
It's
little
not
bit,
really impossible to just delete YouTube for 20 days. It's not. Yeah, delete YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, any social media.
Like I said,
I've done
it's
it.
Not,
I haven't deleted it.
it's not necessarily the easiest thing in the world, but yet it's not. It's not undoable.
It's so easy for me to avoid spoilers.
Yeah.
Because I always believe context matters. So sometimes I'll see a spoiler on a thumbnail, in a title, and not understand what I'm seeing. But I know that video or that tweet spoils things, so I don't read the rest of it.
Wow.
There's like one that wants to come out, but it's stopping itself because it's halfway between puke and a burp. So it's like my body's like, "Don't do that, Nate," but then my brain is saying, "But dude, there's some gas in there. I'm trying to get out to create more room in case something happens around here."
Okay.
Spider-Man is Sony. Spider-Man, but they have a deal for him to be a yeah. I know that. Yeah, I knew Spider-Man was Sony. That was the one that we knew for sure. But they already rectified that.
Right. I was gonna say I'm pretty sure there might be one or two more.
That doesn't mean that there won't be any more Spider-Man movies made by Sony.
I want to say that.
I don't know that
I
they'll
want
be
to say
connected.
Sony does own a few X-Men as well.
I don't
But-
see. I don't remember. I remember almost all of them being by Fox. Almost every single X-Men movie I've ever seen was by Fox.
Right, but that doesn't.
That doesn't mean that there
they
aren't
don't
some
own
characters, but I
some
don't
characters,
remember any by Sony.
yeah.
I could be wrong. Maybe you guys can look it up and find out. Spider-Man
not
was
a big
always
deal,
the
yeah.
big one. That was like the big thing Sony had. Has an exclusivity contract, but they kind of worked that out behind the scenes. So obviously that's been taken care of.
Mhm.
Basically, Disney's got more money than God, so they can make anything work because
There's
they'll just throw money at you. They really want this Marvel character in the universe. They will fork it out as we see. I mean, wouldn't it be funny if we find out the only reason they bought Fox was to get X-Men and Deadpool?
Right.
Of course, if they do that, and
Well,
then
they
they
already
then they
have-
nick then they nix Deadpool because Deadpool doesn't fit with the Disney image.
Yeah, they said they were fine with that.
They
were
said,
fine.
but Deadpool 2 was in production before Disney bought them, so we don't know what's going to happen after Deadpool 2. Now, granted, Ryan Reynolds has also said he doesn't believe that Deadpool 3 would fit, and I haven't seen Deadpool 2, so I don't know where it leaves off.
Yeah.
And I know there's the whole leading into the combo movie that he believes that's where it should go next. And that was kind of like Iron Man, Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, but like you lead into that big collab movie, and then that doesn't mean that, after that collab
Wait a
movie,
minute.
a Deadpool 3
You
could
mean you're
happen.
supposed to have individual movies before you have your big giant collab movie? DC. What?
I mean,
You're supposed to have backstories?
wait. Didn't they start? Oh, no. Technically, they did have individual movies for Superman. If you want to be technical, Superman stood in his own movies,
Yes, I know.
and then they did the
And
That's it.
technically-
Batman is such a big character to have him
And
debut in that cinematic universe as a collab. Now maybe it's because they wanted.
Technically, they wanted the Dark Knight.
Yeah, I actually
trilogy
I remember
part of it,
reading
but-
some rumors that the Dark Knight trilogy, there was a strong desire for that to be part of the current
Canon.
cinematic universe
Yes.
and be canon, especially with
But-
especially with how well received those movies are. That would have been like if they could have had
Right.
that Batman in the show.
But
That's a huge boot. That, to honest to God, that would have maybe changed everything potentially. Batman vs Superman. Think about the build-up. You would have the Superman movies, which were received okay, and the Batman Dark Knight series that was like considered one of the best superhero trilogies ever. And then you bring those two together, like that would have changed everything. But
yeah,
Christian
They-
Bale is a dick
but the
hole.
well,
He
not
is a
just
dick
that.
hole.
Oh yes. but not
Everyone
just
who's
that.
ever worked with him has said he's a
Yes,
dick hole.
but not just that.
And
It's-
like he
they-
refused to play Batman.
They also
anymore.
blew their load in Batman v Superman, and I still haven't seen it, but I've heard they.
I've
blew
seen
their load
Batman
on
vs
it.
Superman. It's not as bad as people make you.
No,
believe
I
it is.
didn't say it was a bad movie.
No,
but
a lot of people said it was bad.
What they
It wasn't bad. It just it felt wrong because Batman in that movie, and I don't even consider this a spoiler. This is common knowledge. Batman in that movie was already an established character that we had no history for. Now, granted, they rush over his history in there, but it's like you're rushing over one of the most important characters in the DC universe. You can't do that.
No.
You can't. You don't do that. Like, Batman vs Superman shouldn't have happened until after standalone Batman movies in a new direction. But that's not what they did. They rushed it, and it's like I can't believe that Batman is as important as we're trying to make him out to be. Like
playing
Superman had these standalone videos going into it. Batman's rushed into it, and it's like, and I don't want to spoil it for you because like there's a really,
No, I know it.
you know that, yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like
Yes,
that
they
happens.
blew their load on it.
That happens, and it's like, yeah, whatever. And, you have Wonder Woman, which was fantastic. I'm like, why couldn't they give Batman the Wonder Woman? And it's not even the actor for Batman. Like Ben Affleck, whatever. Like, he could probably be an okay Bruce Wayne. He probably could. I think that's a role he could do. It's just the way they approached it, the writing, the rushing of the character. I kept thinking my biggest concern in Batman vs Superman was that Batman hasn't been pre-established in this universe right now. Yes, and the thing is, all of us as consumers, we literally just came off the conclusion of the Dark Knight series, and like potentially the best Batman of all time. So now you're comparing a Superman that most people consider okay. I love the Superman movies, and I admit a little bias. I love Henry Cavill. He is an amazing actor. If you've never seen The Tudors, you need to go watch The Tudors.
Mhm.
His acting in that show is some of the best acting I've ever seen in my life. The Tudors is one of my favorite all time. Like I actually might start rewatching The Tudors next week. It might become my new House because I can't get House legally anymore right now. So it'll come back to Netflix or something eventually, but or Hulu, since Disney owns Hulu and owns Fox, so they own House. Whatever.
I still need Doctor Who back, but
Doctor Who is still going on. You mean back on Netflix?
yes.
Is it on Hulu? I'm not sure. I have a Hulu subscription,
Not that I know of.
and we can have multiple devices stream that too. So.
Not that I know of.
Anyways,
But yes.
okay. But yeah, so like that was the hard part.
Yes.
Like everything was working against Batman in that movie because the best Batman of all time just had like arguably one of the best movies of all time. Like every movie in that Dark Knight series is insane. And plus, I'm always gonna have an affinity to say it's like the best Batman of all time because Heath Ledger was involved.
Yes, right.
And I know like it sucks what happened to him, but God, Heath Ledger was so good.
Oh my.
Ever since A Knight's Tale, 10 Things I Hate About You. Like, oh my God. Are people just going crazy right now?
Oh, yes, kinda.
Batman is the most important
No.
character. Yeah,
No.
Yeah, if you know
Read
anything
the
about
comment
DC
before
history.
that though.
No,
No, two comments.
Batman
before
should team up with Mystery Inc. in a Michael Bay directed movie. And Samuel Jackson voicing Scooby Doo. I don't know. Would that be considered? Bad because Samuel Jackson's in the Marvel?
that. I was gonna
universe?
say Nick Fury's now voicing Scooby Doo.
Then again, if
That'd
you
be
see
hilarious.
the ending of Infinity, okay, I can't spoil things.
Right.
Can't
Yes,
can't go
yes,
there.
yes.
Can't go there. Can't go. there.
Yes.
I'll just say Nick Fury makes an appearance. That's it. He drops an F bomb.
No, almost.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. My bad. I mean,
It was definitely
he said he implies an F bomb, which
It's Samuel L. Jackson. What else would you expect?
which in an Avengers movie, like that doesn't really happen. Like that's like the most extreme they'll go with the language, and doesn't happen often. But oh man, Avengers Infinity War. Here's a question I have for you, Eric.
Yes.
I don't know what's going on in the chat because I don't give a shit at this point.
Oh boy.
When is it okay to talk about spoilers for something?
Oh god.
For video game, any sort of media,
for
any sort of media.
Right now,
Right now, I
with
don't think it's
movies,
okay.
With movies,
Is it after it's out of the theaters?
yes, I would say at least then. The caveat being budget theaters that hold on to it for freaking ever.
Well, budget theaters hold on to any blockbuster forever.
Right.
Like,
Well,
honestly, at our theater in Eau Claire, it's gonna be held into there for like the next 6 months.
honestly, The
Wow.
Greatest Showman was still out. It was out on video, and they had it for like another 2 or 3 weeks in the movie theater.
Because they're still making money on it.
No, I know, but at that point in time, if it's on a movie,
So
yes,
when it comes out on DVD or streaming or
Yes,
whatever,
yes.
then you can talk about it.
I would say yes.
Okay.
Maybe give it a week. Let people who don't go to movies in theaters give them a chance to at least maybe see it. But
I'm gonna call bullshit.
What?
Here's my deal.
okay,
You've seen the movie, talk about the movie. The only reason I haven't talked about the movie is because I'm in the public face.
yes.
If I was just an average consumer on the side with some friends on Facebook,
Well, yeah.
I'd fucking be talking about the movie nonstop. You know what I hate about here? Let me give you the number one thing I hate about being in the public. It's not the criticism. It's that I know everything I say on a social media platform anywhere is going to spoil things for people. If I've seen something that maybe they haven't, and it pisses me off. Think about this. All the experience we have at E3 coming up, you can consider everything we talk about, everything we do as a spoiler for a game.
Potentially, yes.
Everything.
Potentially.
But we're going to talk about it anyways.
Yes.
And I'm not going to give a shit if it spoils you or not.
Right.
I'm not even going to mark, like, if we find out a huge story element for some game at E3, I'm not going to warn you there's a spoiler.
Mhm.
I'm too busy. I got so much work to do. I ain't going to worry about that shit. I'm going to give you the content. And you're either going to like it or you're going to fucking hate it. And there's nothing I can do about it. And I wish I could pronounce that name that just subscribed 9 minutes ago.
Holy
But I cannot. Is it Russian?
No.
What?
No.
What language is? I don't, well, if you don't know, because you
It's
know
not
a
Russian.
little Russian.
It might be. It is
Arabic?
a Slavic. No, it is a Slavic language, I think. But
The thing is,
I
I
don't
can't
know.
read any of those languages, so it doesn't really help me. You know, I'm waiting for someone who's holding on this whole time to
yeah.
hit us with that $100 dono, and I'm gonna be like,
Yeah.
you motherfucker.
Well,
You're the
gonna,
one who's dragging
you're
the
gonna
stream
catch,
out.
you're gonna catch for the first time ever. I black out on stream. No, I'm actually gonna black out.
You're
No,
the
no,
one
no,
who's dragging
no.
the stream out, damn
If
it.
somebody hits a tequila shot, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
All right, I will hold it down. I feel like I can hold it down. I don't feel like I have to pee right now, so that's good. But I'm fucked if I hit tequila.
You're the one holding the stream.
You guys want to see the drunkest I've ever been on stream? That's the price. That's terrible. I should be telling people that. All right. This isn't the drunkest I've been on stream, by the way. If you guys ever saw the Nate and Yulia stream, you know what's up.
Is that the one where you put Braun?
Disney gave Marvel their own studio when they bought them.
Yep.
Says Jakar Johnson.
Yep.
To do their own thing, but
Yep.
Warner Bros. On the other hand hasn't given DC their own studio, and it's just uneducated businessmen running it.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of DC. Here's my problem with DC. A lot of problems. I have a lot of problems, but it feels like they want to chase what Marvel's doing instead of it feels like everything's being rushed to chase Marvel instead of just I understand wanting to capitalize on the fact that we are in the midst of one of the greatest cinematic universes to ever exist for comic book nerds everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I understand wanting to chase that. They should desire to do that, but what they should do is examine why it's working for Marvel. And I feel like they jumped into it not knowing why it's working so well for Marvel.
Mhm.
And that's my problem. I think they actually did Superman the right way. Not just because of my bias and because I think they're good movies, but because it felt like when they started doing Superman, they weren't chasing Marvel. They were just saying, look, we want to make Superman relevant. We feel like we have the right actor for it. Maybe not the right directors, maybe not the right story writers, but whatever. They felt like they had the right person for the job. I think Henry Cavill, not just because I love him as an actor, I actually think he's a great Superman.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's always had the greatest scripts to work with or the
Yeah,
greatest
no.
story, but I feel like him as Superman can work. Because I feel like the last time I felt like they had the right person for Superman was the guy who was doing Ripley's Believe It or Not after Superman. Was it called Lois Lane or Kent? What was that show called? TV show in the 90s.
I don't remember.
God, it wasn't called Superman. I know that. It was like Lois and Kent. Something. I don't remember. You guys out there that know this stuff will understand. I felt that's the last time I felt like an actor encapsulated Superman.
I will give DC their props on their animated films.
And
Their
their
animated films
were
are
good.
phenomenal.
They are good. But man,
But they cannot do live action to save their ass. For the most part.
just Wonder Woman. And that's why I look at how do you? I mean, and granted, how do you? I don't even grant it. How do you get Wonder Woman so right,
Mm-hmm.
but everything else so wrong? How? I feel like right actor for Superman, wrong directors, wrong script. Batman deserved way more respect than he got, and I get. I honestly think the Dark Knight shit
It was
just
shoehorned.
the Dark Knight shit fucked with me. I think they're playing all along because Dark Knight was running while Superman was a thing.
Mhm.
I feel like they always wanted it to culminate in Batman vs Superman. Those two characters, and if it had been those two characters, we might have a completely different outlook on what DC's doing.
Mm-hmm.
But contract reasons,
No, I won't.
disputes with who they wanted to be directors. A lot of the story writers from the Dark Knight series didn't want anything to do with DC anymore.
Mhm.
Like there's a whole lot of ins and outs beyond just the person
direction
who
they
was
went with
being.
Batman v Superman is
Well, that's the thing. That direction would have never happened if it was the Dark Knights. Because here's the thing. We could talk about this. It's been out forever. Batman's still alive. He's still a thing. He could easily still come back. Just because he's on a sabbatical where everyone thinks he's dead doesn't mean he can't come back. Especially when you know he's alive at the end of the movie. So it's and that's why I thought when the Superman, I'm like, I see something here. I know the Superman movies aren't as well received, but if they combine that pre-established Superman character with this Batman, DC's onto something that Marvel's already established. Basically, what kicked off things for Marvel so well is how well accepted Iron Man was. So you have that in Batman with the Dark Knight series.
But the thing was
But-
with the Avengers, they already had 2, if not 3, established characters with at least one crossover movie between a couple of the characters.
Oh, right, yeah. There was
Before they had the full cast together.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Where
the
it was-
Avenger was done right.
Whereas
Avengers was done
DC had
Because if you think about it,
Superman
like,
standalone.
Hulk is such a big deal, and this Hulk hasn't had his own movie
Right, exactly.
because
But
they've never
that's
done a good
because-
Hulk movie.
That's because nobody can write a good Hulk movie.
Yeah, they've never done a good Hulk movie. I'm not saying they've had bad actors. It's just they can't write one.
Yes.
This Hulk they've written correctly, but for some reason they can only do it in fucking Avengers or crossover movies for some reason. But that's the thing. Like I don't think the first Thor movie was really that great. I think it was just okay. But just okay is so much better than most of the DC movies. That's the problem. Like Iron Man 1 and 2, that set a standard.
Right.
Iron Man 3, I think was good. Not as good as 1 and 2.
Exactly. Yep.
But it set a standard. Captain America was at that, if not better. So like those were the two those were the two stars. And then you also had Thor, and I think they had to pre-establish Thor because he is a big fucking deal in Avengers. So even if you didn't, even if you're like me, you didn't think the first Thor movie was good, I think the Thor movies have progressively gotten better. I think they had the right actor for the right role, kind of bad story writers, and it just got better over time. And Loki obviously, it did his thing as well, and got better over time. I mean, Loki hit his stride in Avengers hardcore.
They did a phenomenal job picking that actor, though.
Oh, yes, they did. But that's the thing. Like we talk about just okay. They've at least made these individual movies
That's the other thing,
okay.
That's
There
the
hasn't.
other
That's the other thing. What's a bad Marvel
They
movie?
nailed their casting.
Oh yeah.
They beyond nailed their casting.
Well, that's the thing. I think DC nailed it with Superman. Batman, if they can't use Dark Knight, can't use Christian Bale,
They needed to have another movie.
I'm okay with Ben Affleck, even though some people don't like
but they
him.
needed his own standalone movie before
Yeah, he
they
needed a
shoehorned him
standalone
in.
movie that established
So they
him.
shoehorned him in.
But they're like, no, but we had these plans. I'm like, but you can't.
You can't just
He's
throw
too,
him in there.
He's too big. He's too big. It would be like not having any Iron Man movies and then suddenly Iron Man's in Avengers.
Yeah.
Like, you can't have Tony Stark,
Or Iron
who's
Man's
this
in a Thor.
important to the Avengers, just not appear in anything, and now he's in Avengers, and we're supposed to believe he matters. You can't have that happen.
They nailed the casting for Wonder Woman. Gal Gadot is
Oh,
freaking amazing.
That's the thing. That's the thing with DC. They're inconsistent in it.
Yeah.
Marvel nailed the casting with probably every main character, whereas DC, it's like we got this one right, maybe got this one right. Like I don't like I said, I don't even think Ben Affleck is a bad choice as an alternative. It's that how his character was handled makes me wonder, was he a good choice? And I know there's people who don't like Ben Affleck, and I get that. I've always understood, like, it's been an internet meme forever, like, oh, Ben Affleck, like, but it's still one of those things that I don't think he's a bad actor. I just think it's just he wasn't given a fair shot. Like and it's weird because some people will mention, well, Wonder Woman came out before Wonder Woman the movie, but it was a minor role. It was one of those, you're a cameo in Batman vs Superman versus a focus, and that cameo.
You can't even tell me that. That was like a sneeze from what I've heard for a cameo. That you can't. No, shut up. From what I heard, it was just basically here, and then it was a throwaway thing more than anything.
But it was a tease. If you are a DC fan, you recognize it was a tease.
Right.
But because of how bad that, or I'm not going to call the movie
the
bad,
thing
just
is,
how not as good as it should have been. It was.
From what I heard,
No one thought Wonder Woman was going to be great.
Granted, again, I still say the caveat. I have not seen Batman v Superman, but everything I've heard is the
One night we need to sit down and watch it,
the
and then talk about it. Talk about it on live stream
Yes.
after.
the reveal of Wonder Woman was just kind of a throwaway thing.
Oh, it felt a little strange when it happened.
Yeah.
She came in, and I'm like, holy shit, that's one. Because
Yeah.
she plays a big role towards the end of the movie, and you're just like, okay, that's Wonder Woman. She looks badass. Pretty big fucking deal in the DC universe. Why the fuck is she in this movie? That's my first reaction. That was my first reaction, but you know what it did? It made me, because I think she did well acting-wise.
Oh yeah, she's a phenomenal.
She did so well acting-wise in the film that even despite the fact that I maybe didn't like a lot of choices, like she acted well enough for me to be interested in the Wonder Woman movie. And the thing is, this has happened. We've seen characters introduced like in Avengers and then get their own movies. Like, it's okay for that to be a thing if it's handled well, or become a TV show. Like, even though the TV show, has it been canceled yet? The Marvel TV show that features the fucking
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Agents of Shield.
Agents of Shield.
I don't know.
And the thing is, I've seen like every episode up until the final season or the last season. I don't know if it's the final season, and I think it's okay. I think it's actually entertaining, but it's only because I'm into the universe, and because obviously what the main guy leading Shield at the time happens to be a guy that was in some of the Avengers movies, and was quote unquote killed, but then he really wasn't killed, and it's fine if you read the comics, like killed but not really killed is just a thing. It's just the way it happens.
Welcome to comics.
But basically, it's okay. We killed this character. Holy shit, is he too popular? We have to bring him back.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. It's just like, the guy who plays Tony Stark and the guy who plays Captain America. Both of them have said they don't want to do it anymore. But Disney and Marvel are going to keep paying them a shitload of money to keep doing it because nobody can replace them and they're too popular. Like, you might never see an Iron Man 4 or 5. It's probably never happened. You might never see another Captain America, but they're going to keep being in Avengers. As long as the money is flowing, they're going to keep being in Avengers. I mean, they're obviously going to be... Well, I shouldn't say they're obviously going to be in the next Avengers.
Yes.
I shouldn't say that.
Yes.
But it feels like they're obviously going to be in the next Avengers. I don't want to spoil too much for you guys, but... again... This is what sucks about being a public figure. I can't talk about this shit because my audience is too big. It's not just my close friends and my family. It's thousands of people. It's like they're like, you're such a douchebag. I'm like, but
Cool.
Here's the deal. I want to be one of you. Here's what sucks. I love what I do, but I want to be one of you where I have such a small following that I can just talk about whatever the fuck I want to talk about. But I can't. I got 6,000 followers on Twitter. I got fucking 33. How's that YouTube? I'm fucking Facebook. I have over 1,000 friends, and I probably only really know 20 of them, and most of them are family and Eric.
Most of them just me.
They're just people who have met me at one point. And I'm like, oh yeah, I remember you. Add friend.
Yeah.
Social media. Who gives a shit? I don't post anything on Facebook.
Yeah, at least not personally.
You know what? I need to find a social. You know what? I'm gonna become an Instagrammer and tell no one I'm an Instagrammer. And I'm gonna take.
You mean kind of like Nintendo Prime?
Is this her on Instagram?
Yes, you have an Instagram account. You just don't post anything.
Fuck. So
you
Nintendo
haven't
Prime's-
posted anything.
No, I know. I did that to capture the name in
Yes.
case I ever decide to Instagram.
know.
God damn
But
it.
it is there.
God
It
damn
is a thing.
Fuck. What social network am I not on?
Venmo?
What is that?
I don't know.
What social network would it? I'm not on Tumblr.
No,
Wait. I shouldn't say that. Did I? At one point, did I register Nintendo Prime on Tumblr? Hold on. I might have registered it at one point
Yes.
so no one else could take it.
Reddit?
I don't think there's a Nintendo Prime Tumblr.
Did you
And I've
but
cli-
is it actually you, though?
And I've
That's the
clicked
question.
on it before, which means it's probably me. It's probably me. Oh, no, that is not me.
Oh.
That Nintendo Prime is not me. Well, fuck you, man. I need to take over your... I'm just kidding. I don't need to take over your Tumblr. Okay, so I may not have a Tumblr. I might be able to escape the Tumblr. I can go to
Reddit?
Pinterest. No, I can always go to
Reddit?
4chan and be anonymous. You can
Reddit?
talk about whatever the fuck you want. Reddit. I have Reddit accounts. Granted, fun fact, I own the Zelda Informer Reddit account. Until I start posting with it and it gets back to masses and he bitches at me.
Why? Does he
Because
actually own it?
technically he when he bought, that's the funny thing, when he bought Zelda Informer, he bought the entire brand of Zelda Informer, which would include that Reddit account. But here's the thing, he never got it from me. Like the YouTube channel, he gave it to me in my exit contract, that bullshit exit contract, but he never had access to it in the first place. I was
That's
the only
probably why
I
he
was the
gave it to
only
you.
person who had access to it. I was the only person making sure content was being made for the channel. He had no interest in it. At all. So it's like, that's why I hate when he brings up, oh yeah, I gave him this, I gave him that. You didn't give me shit. I earned that. I built that shit. I hate when people talk, like, the way he talked about me on Zelda Informer was like, man, you're acting like I didn't build this shit. You know why you spent what you spent to buy Zelda Informer? Because I made it worth that shit. To him, anyways. It was the best offer that was on the table when the owner decided to sell. But it's like, it's only worth that because of what I did. Just saying. I was the value add, and now look, I'm not there anymore, and what happens? ZeldaInformer.com doesn't exist.
Well, that was going to happen.
That was going to happen anyways. I was one of the roadblocks for that happening. That's one of the reasons he probably got rid of me. He will not admit to it, but it's funny. right after my final day, suddenly people on the staff were telling me, "Hey, by the way, he's merging into Zelda Dungeon." I'm like, "Well, no shit," because he told me he wanted to do that the day he bought the site.
Yeah.
Like, I knew he always wanted to do that, and I'm not saying consolidation's bad, but I still post Zelda Dungeons content to the Zelda Informer Facebook page. No, I'm not the head admin on there anymore. I gave that up to him a long time ago. But like when I go to Zelda Dungeon, I'm going to post content. They've had 2 posts today. When I was there, we were averaging 10 a day. So like that's the thing. It's that passion. You know what? Now you guys get that passion. Welcome to Nintendo Prime. Drunk Prime. Fire Soul had to go. He had to leave. He had to sleep. Good night. Nate, Lois and Clark. Dean Cain played Clark.
Yep.
Yes, Lois and Clark. That was what it was called. I knew it wasn't called Superman, but it was the Superman show.
Yes.
Ben Affleck has got to go. I don't think Ben Affleck is the issue. It doesn't matter who they get if they're going to treat Batman the way they've been treating Batman. No matter who the actor is, look at the lines, look at the writing, look at the story, and tell me there's anyone that can pull that off and make it look good.
And they blew their load. But yes.
In a decade from now, Nolan should do a true Miller's Dark Knight Return. Oh shit!
No, Miller. No,
What
that's
up?
not going anywhere near anything. No, Miller needs to go burn in a corner.
Why not? They should just hire George Lucas. I hear he's looking for a job. I mean, he should have more money than God. He was paid a shitload for the Star Wars franchise. But
Yeah, no, Miller can go.
and Indiana Jones. I gotta remember, it wasn't just Star Wars. Like
I know.
he had more than one hit. People remember Star Wars. Like Indiana. How many franchises did he give them?
Quite a few.
I know Indiana Jones and Star Wars were the quote unquote biggest. Star Wars obviously being like a fucking behemoth in itself. But Indiana Jones, man. I just so badly want a good Indiana Jones movie. Like there were moments in Crystal Skull that were good. But those moments were because fucking Harrison Ford.
And they nuked the fridge.
Well, yeah, I know. But like the moments were Harrison Ford because Harrison Ford is Indiana Jones. So like
Oh,
Harrison Ford
and
is
if you
good.
Go back in the comments a little while ago. There was Aliens. So
Aliens, yeah.
That was well before we even started talking about this.
When
but
the
yes,
fuck was Aliens good in my
No,
lifetime?
No. As in Aliens, as in Crystal Skull. Aliens.
Oh, I didn't mind the alien angle. How they got to it, I didn't like. Because I'm like, they always dealt with. What I liked about Indiana Jones and why I think the premise of Crystal Skull was okay
Yeah.
was that it always dealt in mythology or legends or like
Yeah.
or conspiracy theories about like the Holy Grail. Which, hey, maybe you legit believe that's a thing. I think that was one of the coolest in the Ark of the Covenant. Obviously, religion-based here in some of this stuff, and that's great. And I think there's more religion stuff they could have explored from other religions with holy relics. I think that would have been more appropriate. But, like, exploring that aliens were here first, I think is cool. And, like, how aliens created things is cool. But I think it would have been nice if they would have explored some of the conspiracy theories around, like, the ancient pyramids and stuff like that. Like, stuff that people actually have a conspiracy about. And I realize there's actually, like, a crystal skull actually is a real thing that legit exists. And there's these alien conspiracies around it.
And they nuked the fridge.
Yeah, I know. But I'm like, but how they wrote it and how they did it just didn't work for me. There were moments and they were very Indiana Jones, but it's like, but those moments don't make up for the fact the story is not well put together. And I didn't even mind the sun angle thing. I was like, yeah, whatever. I mean, that was them attempting and failing to pass Indiana Jones off to a new actor. But like, no matter what, that I hate when they try to do that because what they were trying to do is set up future Indiana Jones movies to be with the kid, and it's like, but there's only one Indiana Jones.
Right.
You either reboot the entire franchise with somebody else, or if you're using Harrison Ford, that's it. That's the only. And like even at the end of the movie, they're like, oh yeah, and he pulls his hat back, and you're like, okay. I mean, it's like it was a recognition when they were getting done with the movie, like, yeah, that wasn't that good, so no, we're not ready to pass on the hat of Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Like it still has to be Harrison Ford, and it's like, how much longer does Harrison Ford really do Indiana Jones? So I think there's another one in production,
There is.
which is fine, because I can't get mad yet because now it's Disney.
Right.
Who I think with this Indiana Jones might be the final one for Ford. Because I know they killed him. I don't think they're going to kill him off. Because that doesn't feel like Indiana Jones ain't going to die to leave the franchise. He's going to have to retire. But it's going to have to be a retirement that makes sense. Getting married wasn't a retirement that made sense. So it's going to have to be a retirement that makes sense. I don't know what that retirement is, but it has to be a way that passes the mantle on to somebody.
Again.
They're not going to nuke the fridge. Disney ain't going to do that. Disney doesn't do that. You and the nuke the fridge. You're never
Hey,
going to
man.
let that go.
That was
Never going to give
so
you up.
dumb.
Never going to let you down. Elizabeth reminding me of Lois and Clark again.
Yes.
Well, I'm tired. Let me see here. In a decade from now, oh yeah, we talked about that. Snapchat. I'm on Snapchat already. To be fair, there's only like 5 people that follow me on Snapchat, so I could talk about spoilers on there and probably not get in trouble. The only people that I would Snapchat. Oh, I have Yulia on Snapchat. I have my friend Nikki on Snapchat. I don't even know who else I have on Snapchat. Oh, why am I going to Google? I have the app that I really only open and then start to use once Yulia sends me a picture of the kids in some silly form. I know I follow the Bucks on Snapchat. So Nikki, my sister, who hasn't been on in 30 weeks. Nikki hasn't been on in 47 weeks. Logan. Darren. I have Darren on Snapchat. I can go spoil things for Darren. And then Jordan West, Logan's brother. So 1, 2, 3. I have 6 people. So I can Snapchat to 6 people. And no, I'm not going to give you guys my Snapchat contact because the last thing I need is you guys Snapchatting me. I don't know, more rumors. I get enough of it on Discord with people trying to share all those links. Share the links. So many links. All right, I better go to bed if I have any hope of making videos tomorrow. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's been fun. It's been real. It's been a great stream tonight. I want to thank you guys for tuning in, regardless of if you supported us monetarily or just enjoyed the stream. Koopa Troopa Poopa, what about a spoiler discussion live stream? Previous Instagram stories is now a thing. I don't even use Instagram. Dakota here, what a cool name. I do want to give a shout out here. First, I want to look at the grand totals we had. Wow, that's more than I thought from the super chats. So first, I want to give a final shout out to all the people who did happen to donate tonight. Obviously, Be Righteous was the last one with $80. We had Nintendo Talk with $1.99. Matthew Campos with a 2 spot. Jack Angel twice in a row with a couple dollars each. Thomas Maynard with $2. Matthew Campos with another 2. Jack Angel with a 10 spot and a 5. And Matthew Campos with $1. And I think that was it. That was from last night. So yeah, thank you guys so much. I greatly appreciate your support. Thanks for tuning in. We have our next live stream is Friday for Primecast. There will be a Q&A at the end of Primecast as well. We have a lot of news to talk about this week. I'm warning you, spoilers are just going to be a thing. I'm going to warn it at the beginning of Primecast as well because a lot of the news this week deals with spoilers. So it's life. It's life. It's imagination.
Oh, God. Imagination.